What up? Do do do. Mm-mm. So what's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. I'm doing a stream. Get some folks on here. Shout out to Sub-Zero. Shout out to Sub-Zero. You know, he just did a stream. I'm gonna discuss it. I'm not trying to be on no argumentative shit. I'm not. So I'll have a talk with him because I think it can be a useful conversation. But there is some things I want to address real quick, a little bit. That has to do with the video he did, and he was giving his honest thoughts, and they're good thoughts. They're good thoughts. He goes to conferences, which is something I think a lot of brothers should do. Although I typically don't go to black centric conferences, not because it's something I particularly don't do. It's just because I don't kind of put aside the money. Usually the conferences I go are going to be general conferences, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. When you go to a lot of these black centric conferences, it's pretty much, they're very gynocratic. It's very women. And I typically don't think about shit like that, but when the shit is as obvious it is in the black community, you really can't help but notice it. And what really struck out to me in the video Sub-Zero did was, he was giving kind of his, regular thoughts on it. His kind of like first reaction thoughts, but he saw, oh man, there ain't no men, and it's kind of some of the conclusions that he came to as far as why there aren't no men there, and I wanted to just address some of those. So the first thing is, I'm gonna say it just like this, and hope, yeah, what up MOT, and hopefully, and by the way, I need to get MOT's link. So shout out to MOT. Y'all need to make sure y'all subscribe to him. Yeah, he'll jump on here Sunday. We'll probably do a stream Sunday with Sub-Zero. But this ain't gonna be about Sub-Zero. This is just gonna be about mapping it out. And I'm not about to play his video. I'm about to do all that. Y'all want to see the video? Y'all can definitely look at him. But first of all, one of the main reasons, I just want to put this out here. When you look at like a lot of business conferences and stuff like that, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. A lot of dudes, black men, are not in the black business conferences. That's the truth. Most black men are in the bigger conferences, the overall business conferences, if they're playing at that level. And this is true for people that he knows. They're dealing with the white men, or dealing with the general business elite. They're not in the black only conferences. Yeah, I am doing a stream. I didn't know you was doing a stream, Pharaoh. It is what it is. But my point is, that's the first answer to answer kind of the direct question. The second of all, those conferences are not for black men. They're not really for black men. And I promise you, there's a lot of black men money that goes into those conferences. They have the Women's Empowerment Conference every year. It's like September. And they say women's empowerment for a reason. A lot of that is that church money that rotates around all of this shit. And it's basically spending money on each other. It's spinning around. And at the end of the day, shout out to what's called, I talked about the elephant in the room. Yeah, it is an elephant in the room. It's not for you. You're happy to be there as a minority and give your money. You get a little networking, but it's not for you. And that's why you don't see a lot of men. Because they're like, if I'm gonna do that shit, I might as well be around non-black men, is where the bigger money is. Oh, I don't care about that, Pharaoh. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to address is this thing as far as why this idea of black men needing to invest in the black community. It's not your community. Men don't invest in what they don't control. They're not responsible for what they don't control. It's
And other
not
people
your
in the
community.
states where we
Yeah,
don't invest in. No, we
no,
don't invest in other
absolutely.
people's mistakes. We don't.
I gotta get my thing real quick. All right. All right, so I can hear. It's raining. It's raining. It's raining in LA. Anyway, like I was saying, all right, now I can rock a little bit. So first of all, it's like Sub-Zero said, they don't invest. We don't invest in what we don't control, and nobody's asking anybody to let somebody control shit. But the reality of the situation is, black men don't control the black community. And when I was really listening to what Sub-Zero had to say, I was like, he sees that, but kind of the conclusions that he comes to with that is different. Black men are not raised to be leaders in America. They never have been, ever. Not during integration. And this is not about blame. That's why I want to get BGS on here. This is what the fuck it is. I don't care how people feel about it. What I'm saying is, and this is why I got mad respect for BGS. BGS, he put his daughters up because he gave an example of what his daughters do on autopilot, but not because they're bad, but because that is the program. BGS did a video talking about black men being concubines, and what he was talking about is how the community, American society in general, the black community in particular, because black men are more closer to the community, so they're really administering a lot of these things. They set these boys up on a path. So when I was hearing Sub-Zero talk about, well, why these men come back and mentor these sons and mentor these boys and all of that, all these women that are kicking ass and taking names, all these women, as BGS will put it, that have college degrees and are doing all these great things, what the fuck are their sons doing? Look at these women and look at their own sons. Compare their sons to their daughters. That says everything you need to know. And people can't it's a family's job to deal with their family. I'm not saying that as a community or as a quote unquote community, you can't aggregate resources. But what you have to understand is resources is dudes are not going to sit here and say, well, we need to come back to the community and help these boys. You're not really helping these boys. You're helping the girls. When Obama did My Brother's Keeper, women shut that shit down. This is why I'm bringing you in, MOT. When Robert Smith did what he did, women shut that down. And then it's not just women, it's a lot of dudes that feel a certain type of way because they operate behind them. And so if you can say, why is it no black men there? There's no black men there because they were never meant to be there. And you can't, and that is not by accident. And it's also not just the white man's fault they're not there. Everybody, a lot more people are on it than what people want to really make it sound like. It's like the Nation of Islam. You think the Nation of Islam were going to look at traditional Arabs or traditional Muslims to support what the fuck they do? they had to do it on their own from the ground up. They had to get with people that are like-minded, that will operate within the code and build it on their own. So when I talk about investing in black men, I'm talking about like-minded black men. I'm talking about the descendants of those black men based on a culture. I'm not talking about going in the community and saving motherfuckers. And here's my thing. People ask, why are things like SYSBM and all that stuff, why do people talk? They talk because that is reaching out to those brothers. People will sit there and say, well, are you going in here doing this and doing that, shadowing doctors and apprenticeships? Some dudes are doing that, but the main thing that a lot of these dudes need to know is there's going to be a place for them when they get older, and it's okay for them to be who they are. At the end of the day, it's a parent's job to raise these kids. And people want to talk about, well, you know, Sub-Zero said something alluding to, well, all these niggas ain't street niggas. First of all, nobody's really that kind of Pookie and Ray Ray educated lane argument is not a valid argument, because at the end of the day, you know, then my question is, where's they daddy? That's my question. You want to get boys in the community, where's they daddy? It's not about that. What it's about is folks are not going to submit. Sub-Zero, go. Keep going. What do you think what I've said so far?
Yeah, it's good. It's just that there's a missing piece here. Like, and there's a lot of women at the conference. Ask what their brothers are doing. Yeah, just ask them what their brothers are doing.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because people don't understand how hereditary this is, the non-focus on raising boys into productive human beings. It goes from who they pick as a mate to have the kids with. Now, if they're not going to pick a good mate, what makes you think they're going to stick around and raise a decent boy?
Well, like, yeah, and you know what? I don't even care. Like, I care about that, but because, you know, people always say, oh, well, you just coming back to who they pick. That's not what it's about. What it's about is, if you look at assembly line or you look at a process, you have to look at
the outcomes. You have to consider the input if you care about outcomes.
Exactly.
If you don't care about outcomes, then the input don't matter. You can expect the outcomes to be great, and that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be magical about it, and that's what people want to look at the end result and not look at the process of the outcome. I mean, if you get that blatant type of result, like what he was talking about, you can't see with any other community, including Africans, including every other. So that should tell you something. Now, you could either believe the narrative, and I'm not saying he said this, but I'm just saying the narrative that niggas ain't shit, and that explains it. But what are black men doing? Like, you know, like as if black men are just getting 18 and just deciding to go this path. And like I'll give you a perfect example. If people talk about the school to prison pipeline. In your interpretation, Sub-Zero, what is the school to prison pipeline? Oh wow, Pharaoh, I see what you're talking about. Oh, she really gonna say that stupid shit. Yeah, she fucking with the wrong one. She really is. Anyway, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So when people look at the school to prison pipeline, and I don't know how long it's gonna go, I just wanted to put this out here. Everybody knows the school to prison pipeline is not some shit that starts till you're 18. In fact, the manifestations of it is really 16 when you at the end of the pipeline about to go to jail. It starts at a very young age. That shit starts in like kindergarten, first grade. Hell, you could argue it starts earlier. Would you agree with that?
I mean, it starts when you're born. It starts at like Head Start. They already know who already not. They already know that shit.
Yeah.
They already know.
Yeah, the school to prison. So the school to prison pipeline, we know that starts at a very young age. So if you understand that the school to prison pipeline starts at a young age, the we know effeminization of black men starts at a very young age. You really think that the non-production of black men doesn't? And what's interesting about this is Oh, my bad. Don Calypso said, "Do I realize I keep calling him Sub-Zero?" Oh, no, I don't need better coffee. It's all good. I'm watching this game, so my time is split. My bad, man. Tomorrow. Anyway, like I said, what people don't understand is that same thing operates like that. So when you look at how these kids are being raised, which by the way, you're not allowed to talk about, because if you talk about that, you're bashing black women. So you're not allowed to talk about how these boys are being raised, even though this is creating an obvious outcome. You see all this education, all these it's not black women are just better than black men because you can't see that reproduced nowhere else. So it's not nature, it's nurture. And it's a culture. And this has been proven. Yet, what do people keep doing? They keep trying to retroactively convert black men into being more productive after black men have already been raised to be more sexual. Black men are being raised to be that's where that concubine shit BGS we're talking about comes into play. That's the path that black men are put on. And this is one reason why I mentioned Xanatos Clutch a lot, because Xanatos Clutch talks about this. Xanatos Clutch runs against the tide when it comes to stuff like that. And what happens? The community ostracizes people like him. What does O'Shea say? O'Shea says nigga juice. What is nigga juice but sexual swag? Now, I got a question for y'all in the chat. Can you give me a black female version of nigga juice that black women need in order for black men to be attracted?
That's hard, man.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But what are the women talking about? Get your education, be independent so you don't need no man. That's the standard operating procedure. I got a question for you. What is the standard operating procedure for black men that black men are taught? I don't know a standard operating procedure. Do you?
Not me.
No. Can anybody in the chat tell me a standard operating procedure that, like a catchphrase that all black men are told? Anybody in the chat? Go. We got about 31 people in the chat. It must be some other shit on. I just want to put this out here a little bit. This ain't gonna be no 5-hour stream or nothing like that, because I'm actually running out of fucking StreamYard stream hours anyway. But yeah. Can any of y'all tell me what's the catchphrase? No, that's not the overall catchphrase. Like universal. Origins, I say obey your mama. I think that's what we're gonna say. Yeah. Well, your mama black. Well, my point is there is no standard operating procedure. And I promise you, if I ask any black man that, they won't be able to tell me the answer. Because there is none. But everybody can recite the, strong, independent, don't need no man. Oh, Ramil's on O'Shea shit. So my point is, and here's the thing. This is a matter of fact for me. I don't sit here and, I'm hating on, black women. At the end of the day, if I want to do business in the black community, as of now, you have to, you don't got to simp for black women, but you have to have the ability to navigate black women. If you deal with some of the home business stuff that I do, you have to, you be a fool to think you can build that shit just off the grip of black men. You be a fool to believe that. You'd be a fool to believe that. But that's what it is. And it's not like it's just a matter of fact. And the problem and the thing that I have is when people see stuff like that and black men say, well, damn, because it wasn't just him. He was talking about somebody else he was dealing with. And he was like, well, damn. And then the conclusion to that is brothers need to step up. They can't step up because they're not on a step up a culture. Black men are programmed to be concubines. I mean, think of what always gets said in the manosphere. You mad because you don't get pussy. That's what always gets said. I get more bitches than you. It has nothing to do with production. And what happens when you look at the dudes, shout out to Andre, shout out to all them other dudes. Those dudes, look, black men look at their sexual self as their real self. That is their power. And I said this on my own video. It's like a hoe. It's a hoe mentality. I'm going to say this straight up with Sub-Zero. The reason why, other than what I just said, because even though that explains a couple of people, that's still a minority of people that's in those real conferences. Because even if all those black men went to those other conferences, you still wouldn't see a lot of black men. The reason why you don't see a lot of black men is because your women are raised to be men and lead, even though they don't know it, and your men are raised to be hoes. Your boys are raised to be hoes for women. Your boys are raised to be concubines. If they don't have sexual value, they have no value. Not really. That's the answer. That's true in the church. That's true in every area of activity. And I would challenge anybody to tell me different and show it. Now, what they'll say is you ain't got statistics, you ain't got anecdotal evidence. Well, I got your evidence. Show me another community made like that. Show me another community that's like that. That's why. And if you understand what that looks like, I said in the chat, I said it's gynocracy, and people think that's just some funny shit. But it's not. That's what it really is. And I don't say that because I hate women. I'm angry at women. I say that because when you look at an environment, you have to see an environment for what it is in order to navigate it. And the shit that he's talking about is some shit that I saw when I did network marketing a long time ago. It's some stuff I saw. Yeah, what up, Soul and Black? Years ago. This is not anything new. When you go in when you go to conferences like that, it's gonna be nothing but women. Because you're seeing the hierarchy and leadership of your community. So the conclusions that we come to this is, well, it's because black men ain't stepping up. No, they're not made to. That's like me going into an ultra patriarchal position. Let's say I go into Nigeria. There's a couple of women that make a lot of money in Nigeria. But if you go into a patriarchy and you don't see, that's like me going into the Middle East and saying, why don't I see no women in positions of power? What up, Albert? Nobody would say that because everybody knows who gets that priority. Everybody knows where that starts. That starts from the boys up. When you look in the white community, even though the white community is not as patriarchal as it used to be, why? What they say? You're the man of the house. You ever heard a black female say that shit? Now, white single mothers don't say that shit like that no more, but they used to say that if something happened with the father. I mean, this stuff has been like, shout out to Soul and Black. Soul and Black said this shit 8 years ago. This is not new. Now the problem is it's so obvious because back when Soul and Black was saying that shit, every black female wasn't no mayor, every black female wasn't no police commissioner. But they said that's where it was going. Because shout out to this woman is a queen, Dr. Frances Quest Welsing. She said that shit was going. She said that shit in the 70s. The boys were going to be more and more effeminized. She said that shit in the 70s. We are 40 years later. This is by design. And guess what? It's going to get worse. As a group, you'll have dudes like SYs with small pocket groups that just peel the fuck off, but it's going to get worse. And what's funny is the women are kind of clueless about it, but they're not. See, when women talk about, oh, ain't no men around, ain't no men at my level, you're right. And all you got to do is look at how your brother was raised. BGS said in that video, he said that in his family, one of his grandsons, I think both of his grandsons or some of them, they were being raised. Their hair grew out so long, and it's public. It's in the video he just put out. Their hair grew out so long, and I've seen this not with me, but my middle brother. His hair grew out so long that kindergarten they actually questioned whether that was a boy or a girl, and that's on the only time the hair actually got cut, because his daughter was more and wanted his kid, her kid, to be more pretty, or like a baby doll, and my mom did the same shit with my middle brother, and our family had to kind of veto that shit and cut his hair anyway, and his hair was never grew out like that ever again, and he's 28 right now. And I look at him right now and I see what could have happened if that shit would have never changed. When you look at these females, you know, they look at dreads with like, I don't give a fuck, but they look at dreads with glee, long hair, and all of that shit. You know, it would no, it's beyond a ponytail. BGS used the term pigtails. So the side to side. So it's not, it wasn't just ponytail. That's not what I'm talking about. Exactly, Dread Judge. And these are dudes that are older than me. This is not new shit, man. And so when people talk about this and people get dismissive of what gets said, as if, oh, you just mad because you ain't getting pussy. You just mad because of this. And then they look at it and you see it. Like I can give you dudes to make money, but I can give you a lot of black women to make money in some of these sales spaces too. And they see it and then they say, well, it's because black men ain't stepping up. It's because black men ain't going in the quote unquote community and saving these boys. What are their mothers doing? Let me tell you what their mothers are doing. Their mothers are investing in other black girls and saying, fuck their boys. That's what their mothers are doing. These women give more of a fuck about the black female collective than they do their own kids. And is this all black women? No. I know plenty of black women that are not like this. I know plenty. I can think of plenty of black women that's got daughters and sons that don't do this. But as a group, this is what it is. And you got too many. And here's my issue why I'm doing this video right now. You got too many black men in absolute fucking denial. They think it's just that black men ain't stepping up. And it's that black men are not, because here's the thing. Here's what's funny. When you hear black women, they talk about what a black man's responsibilities to black females are. I mean, if I hear another bitch talk about how she almost got snatched, which I'm gonna keep it all the way real, it's code for I'm fucking with a thuggo nigga and that nigga wanted to take that pussy when I didn't want it, I'm gonna throw up. My question is, you know, people want to talk about it's the same thing. You need to go in the hood or go in the community. And say live, to be fair, but you need to go in the community and you need to just it's not because it's a difference between investing in something and then turning around and just submitting to it. What black men need to do is link up with other like-minded black men. If you a suburban Negro, you need to get good at linking up with other suburban Negroes. That I will say black men need to do. But this idea that black men need to go in the whatever part of the community, I ain't gonna say the hood, but you need to raise other boys. If you got it like that, then you got it like that. But my question is, look, a woman ain't supposed to take care of a man, but what about her son? You can't have all these women having these fucking degrees, but they can't teach their fucking kid how to read. Shout out to BGS on that. Right now, he's getting filleted. Somebody is upset because he's calling somebody out and they don't like it. So they want to do the same shit, threaten to snitch and whatever. But rather than actually, being an adult and actually having an actual conversation defending the platform, what we're going to do is we're going to do a hangout and talk about him because we're too scared to talk to him to his face while you call him names. That's extremely mature. But whatever. That's as far as I'll comment on that one. And then for the dude that's actually co-signing that shit, that's some gynocratic shit. I'll say that being to not go all out. But my point is, I'm serious. If anybody want to join, y'all can join. Because I ain't going to keep this shit up forever. I mean, and to be fair, look, when I think of black boys, I got 2 younger brothers. I'm going to deal with the tribe first. And then it's about, okay, exchange of value. But all this give, and let's keep it all the way real. Black women don't do that. This idea that black women support other black women, that's actually not true. Black women actually don't like each other for the most part. What black women get on code about is their protection of the gynocracy, whether they believe it or not. That's really what's going on. And black men are just in utter denial. Black men are in as much denial about this as a lot of white dudes are in denial about white supremacy. It's that bad. And when you see dudes that are talking about SYSBM and stuff like that, it is what it is. You want to be community minded. You need to be honest about what goes on in the community. I mean, even the black church. The black church is a female hive now. But no, that's because the men are not doing what the fuck they supposed to be doing. No, the men are not present because men are not taught to be present. That happens in a young age. It does. And the problem is you got way more men to give a fuck about black girls than you do black women to give a fuck about black boys. We're not fuck black men. I don't expect no female to raise a black man at all. But what I do expect is a female to deal with the kids that they had. Yeah, what's up, Albert?
What's good, Ed?
No, I just wanted to put this out there because I just want to put this out here. So, so what do you think about what's being
said? A solution for our boys, at least partially a solution. I know it's going to sound crazy, and I'm not saying you should do this over reading books, but all of our boys should be playing RPGs now. And there's a specific reason why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because you play video games, don't you?
Every once and not as much as I used to.
Okay, but a lot of these RPGs, you can create a black character. There are no good examples of black characters on TV, and they have to and you're in marketing, right?
Yeah, I've done that. I did that with Mass Effect.
They have to get a good black image somewhere. Even
that's sad though when you think about it.
Yes, it is very sad. And I get where some of the older generations come from. And back in the 90s, they had a point. You had stuff like the Cosby Show and A Different World, Family Matters, and stuff like that back in the 90s. Here's the problem: we're not in the 90s anymore.
Absolutely. And to be fair, you got content creators. Shout out to Home T History, but the reality is I hate to say it, these
but it is sad that we had to come to video games.
What I'm saying, well, not even the video games, but you gotta relook at, okay, who's typically, and this ain't about blame, this is logic. Who's over most of the households in the black community?
Females.
Okay, so who are the leaders who are the leaders of those boys, and who's in custody in those communities?
Nobody.
Well, let's say it is women because they're custodians of that household.
Yeah, they're custodians.
But what I'm saying is, how you going? Okay, let me do it this way. I got a good way for you. I'm gonna talk about the Information Man way. Even Information Man has validated this. You go into church, you do I forget what they call it, a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think you're gonna get a ministry in there that's gonna help black boys unless that relieves some stress off that female?
Nope.
This black boy. And then here's the thing. And this is what MOT said. What if you tell that boy something that goes against what that woman wants? BGS was talking about how it took his whole family couldn't get his his daughters to cut his grandson's hair. It took basically a boy asking if he was a boy or girl for her to want to do that. Otherwise, she would have kept doing it. And I'm gonna say this: my mom did the same thing with my middle brother. That same thing didn't happen. My mom's cousin, my second cousin, just fucking cut that shit not against his will, but while she was gone, because she said F it. He said he ain't dealing with that because his shit grew and it wasn't a ponytail. It was like a braid. It wasn't a ponytail.
Yeah, my mother. Now to be fair, my mother let my hair grow out, but she didn't put it in a ponytail. Nothing. It was just a big afro.
That's not bad, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They put them in braids and they look like girls. It drives me crazy.
And then it's like, and this is coming from somebody that did not want girls, which was interesting. Like, really did not want girls. I'm talking about my mom. So it's interesting how that psychology happens. But the point is, you know, the point of those stories is this stuff happens early. And so when people talk about why is it like this, you have to be honest about that. And if and look, I don't got kids, you know, but a lot of some of the dudes I'm speaking of, they got kids and they know how involved they are in their kids. But and shout out to the women that pretty much, I'm not gonna say allows, but it makes it easy for them to be involved. The reality is these boys are programmed to be this way, and you see it in community. I hear cuts all the time talking about this. They're mad because they're not chosen. No, dudes do not base their value on productivity. They base their value on sexuality. You ask more, and this is not just street niggas. This is like all black men. And what people don't understand is a big reason why a lot of dudes go SYSBM and shit is because they got to get away from that culture. And to get away from that culture, you got to get away from that female.
Yep.
That's what these dudes subconsciously come to the conclusion to, because they can't necessarily get out of the country. That's not easy. It's easier. And that's what people don't understand. This is why a lot of dudes you find has got money, even though that's overblown. As many black men that, you know, date non-black women, is you see it the way you see it, is because it's not a culture that's conducive. I'm gonna say this, and I want Judge to rock. Can you honestly say black men are conducive to working with productive black women are conducive to working with productive black men at a high level in a support role? Can y'all honestly say that as a group?
No.
So it's no fucking wonder that you have what the fuck you have. And the question is, can you honestly tell me that these women, they are raising these kids, and they're raising these kids because they choose to, for whatever benefits they get, are producing black men that are actually productive?
No, if they do get a black man that's productive, they ruin them.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
Yeah. So I mean, my thing, you know, and I didn't even want to make this action packed, but when I hear stuff like that, it's not about me just wanting to be argumentative. It's like, okay, because here's the thing: black men, it doesn't matter how you slice it or dice it. The fact that you can go a conference and say conference after conference ain't no black men, that should tell you something. They're not there. So just saying they should be there is not gonna make them there. Just saying this should happen is not gonna make it happen. It's just not.
So the problem with that is what they look at it as they don't give them a chance to say anything. And I ain't even gonna lie. This is what I'm gonna tell, and most men ain't gonna be smart enough. I told plenty of times. Look, here's the question: if the child don't have to follow none of my rules and guidelines, then why the fuck am I wasting my time being here? I said, because basically that means is all you want me to do is pay for every fucking thing, and you decide what the child wants to do. Well, here, if I got no say on the child, then let me just go ahead and pay my bill and step the fuck off.
Yeah.
And that's what most men have done. And most men don't, and not everybody is as bold as me. And I'm not gonna lie, that's one of my personal issues that I need to work on. My girlfriend tells you all the time, I'm not tactful at all. But I'm not tactful at all.
Right now.
I mean, Fantastic was talking about that shit. I mean, for real though. And it's not about blaming people. It's about diagnosing what the problem is. Imagine if you had a symptom in the body, but you wasn't allowed to say this is what the fuck it was. You had to talk around that shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's really what's going to happen. The issue is never going to be addressed.
Nope.
And so what's going to happen is the issue is going to get worse and worse and worse until some really something drastic has to happen, because it was never addressed. When the average man dies, they say it's like 30 or 40 pounds of feces in his body. Now, what just to give you a man perspective. So we know black men. What is one thing that black men don't like to deal with? They don't like to deal with colon, like the health of their colon. What happens? Black men get colon cancer. So just to take it away from the females, because everybody want to make it like I want to beat up the females. No, it's not about beating up the females. It's about diagnosing what the issue is. You think I'm going to talk about what a black female is doing? The black men were the main ones raising these kids. Now, and here's the thing. Well, we want to talk about what black men are not in these kids' lives because they want to be there. If that's true, this is where I get on you need to go ahead and stop dealing with black men. Because just like when Lonnie Love said black men are not faithful, or when I listened to what she said was, which when you think about it, you have she got hold on. She got a white man. I think it's Tia got a white man. Is married to a white man. Apparently, Tamara got issues with white men. The only chick on there that was saying some real shit with the Asian chick with a black man. That tells you everything you need to know about our community. Go ahead.
Well, she got a white man. What the fuck does she care?
Well, my point is that's that gynocratic bullshit at work. And at the end of the day, man, the big issue is we just got dudes that are in denial. They keep saying dudes want to step up. It's over for a lot. Like outside of maybe 30% of black men, it's over. It really is. And you, here's the funny thing about it. Like King Sigma and Fantastic did a stream on this. I forget who it was. I forget who the fuck it was. It wasn't Marco, but he was bringing up statistics. A lot of these boys coming up, they're not reading. They're coming in high school. They're leaving high school not even able to read at a 4th grade level.
Yeah, that enrages me.
But you know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, especially with these women going around talking about, oh, I'm educated.
4th grade level, but they got swag though.
What could a swag if he can't? Okay,
doesn't matter. I'm just saying it got swag though. So my point is, where does that come from? Well, that's a lack of fathers. Actually, no, it's not, because it starts with who you choose to be the father of your child, because that is a choice. And it's not about blame. We need to stop talking about niggas just not taking care of their kids and start telling the truth about how that shit really goes down. We got to start doing it. Otherwise, people are not really interested in really resolving the issue. They just want to say the same shit. That just gives them a happy feeling.
Well, this ain't going to give you a happy feeling. Did you see the 11-year-old?
Did I see what?
The 11-year-old.
What 11-year-old?
There's an 11-year-old on Facebook posing while pregnant.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And that tells you everything you need to know about who raised them.
Let's not get it twisted. If she got raped, it would be one thing.
No, they wouldn't have let that get up there if that would have happened.
Yeah, but
I mean, how can it not happen? Well, now that I'm thinking about it, but she's
posing pregnant, and I'm here thinking to myself, okay, I know there's a reason God didn't make me a father, because I would choke the hell out of some of these mamas.
Like I said, man,
I'm just being honest. I've been killed some of them.
No, but I'm
doing too much.
Now I'm gonna say this on the other side, on the flip side, man. I could have very well turned this video like, Professor Black Truth or Jason Black, and I mean that Jason Black. They have a video how to do business with white supremacy, and I could make an argument like when you're gonna do business, if you're gonna do business in the black community, you have to do business with the gynocracy.
Unfortunately,
to a certain extent, and we're not even talking about as an aggregate group, because that's where a lot of the money is. Now, if you're not going to deal with the blue collar money, now there's a lot of black male money. You just got to know where it is. But a lot of those dudes are subject to the gynocracy. That's what people don't talk about. A lot of these old niggas they still got decent retirement packages and stuff like that. They're taking care of the women, and when you look at all this money, Okay, he said she got knocked up by a 13-year-old, which that dude, because they go, they're gonna collapse the blame on him. Everybody gonna blame that little boy. They just gonna, but you have to.
In this football culture, really? Okay.
And that's why, I don't have an issue. Because all these women are not evil, are bad. These, like the women he was talking about they're fine. And yeah, they honestly probably do want more black men there. I can believe that. And they're probably solid women. And I know some women that are married. They're at that level. So these are not me painting the bad picture of all these men. What I'm talking about is the overarching thing below it. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's what nobody really wants to address. What up, man? We got a special guest on right now. Rarely pops in these streets. As far as on live, Soul and Black. What's up? If I could give a hand clap thing, I would.
Headphones on.
Salute, sir.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
Oh, so now everybody want to pop on now. Yeah, good. But that's good. That's good because I'm watching this game, so we got time. But yeah, man. No, I'm just shout it. Basically, this is why I'm doing the video. A dude that does a lot of good shit. He actually does. You like him. He actually does help like other black men in IT as far as getting jobs and actually train them how to do it. Shout out to Sub-Zero's class. So this is a dude that kind of walks the walk, talks the talk. But he went to a conference and he's gone to a couple of these conferences and he's saying, he was having a video about why is he seeing nothing but black women there. And I kind of told him why. I'm kind of talking about that now. I'm like, this is stuff that was a part of the plan. It's not just because dudes just ain't shit. And that's not what he was saying either. It was just this thing about this aura of black men need to step up as a group and not understanding the overarching kind of mechanisms that we're all seeing. Like you see black women taking over politics. You see black women taking over like all areas of activity, it seems like. And they're not doing it alone. This is not to make black women look bad. I'm just talking about where the shit is going. And these are dudes voting for them. These are dudes behind them. It's not just, you're starting to see the gynocracy manifest. And these are things that were alluded to like years ago, but it wasn't as obvious as it is now.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, like so who's up here? I see Truth as I know it. So what up?
Edward, what up?
Yeah, Dre is here, doing some kind of housework, handyman work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Colin Black, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. I had to hook up my mic.
No, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so like I said, what did you think about what I was saying so far about stuff? Because a lot of this stuff was alluded to like 6-7 years ago. It's not nothing new. It's just now it's a lot more in your face.
Who? Me?
No, I'm talking about like the stuff where people are going into certain business environments and it's like you see nothing but like that are black oriented. Not like general business environments, but just black people. And it's like you see nothing but black women. There are like black men are like 1 in like 20, if that.
Well, this is what I want to say on that. The problem with that is, and this is what I've noticed, is
that Dre?
It's Dre.
Yeah. All right, yeah, go ahead.
I have children, and I've dated a lot of women who have children. What I've seen is this. I've seen that when it comes to the boys, because the boys, act like boys, they don't get the attention they need. And a lot of times they write the boys off as bad boys. But the problem is sometimes we might need to be hit upside the head or pushed a little bit harder to stay on the straight and narrow and do what we need to do. That's just how men are, period. And a lot of times I think that a lot of boys are labeled as bad, but they're just really being boys. And boys, they don't understand our nature to push the limit. But what happened is they dumbed it down so fucking much to where now they want the boys to be so feminine like females. No offense. Boys are supposed to be jumping off roofs.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about what you just said? Hold on 1 second. What's funny is they look at black boys just like how white women look at black boys. There's a dynamic that a lot of white women have. Like when you deal with white teachers at an early age, that they want to shut down like that black male energy, but they're sexually attracted to it later on. Like as those that same energy that those dudes give off when they get older, the ones that do, they're sexually attracted to it, but they have a fear of it. And of the boys, and you see a lot of our women have that same dynamic where they can't handle their boys as they're young, so they want to just give them Ritalin. Remember, the original motherfuckers that were giving, it wasn't just white people giving black boys Ritalin and shit. That was black women. Black women were getting financially incentivized to do that shit. So now it's like dealing with black boys is too much because here's the thing, you're not supposed to raise a boy. It's supposed to be you doing it as a team.
Well, Edward, too, there's another half to white female teachers. One half is like you're saying is they try to quell that energy, that rambunctiousness, the loud talking. making beats on the table with the heel of your fist and the knuckles on your fingers, right? Yep. But then there's the other half, right? And this is what you're talking to with black women. Well, it happens with white female teachers too, is they just allow these kids to just be rambunctious instead of connecting with the kids and trying to direct that energy and turning that to a laser-like focus. They just let that.
Yeah, because they can't handle it. Yeah, they go both ways, and I've seen that.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, is that black boys are boys. We're boys. Black boys are boys. We're not special. We're not so much different. Yeah, a lot of black boys and girls see a lot of crazy ass shit as kids, right? And you laugh, and then so you go to school and you're like, man, teach, if I told you the crazy shit I talked about, that's what we'd be talking about all in this class. And I got these racing thoughts in my mind. It's hard to study mathematics and English and writing because you should have seen what I saw at the house or just even walking to school. Right. And that never gets addressed. And
absolutely. Well, absolutely.
I think this really, man, just to really what this comes down to with MGTOW, SYSBM, IBMOR, it's like black men are saying that we're going to direct our own lives. We're going to have autonomy. And when you do that, then people don't like that. They don't like that.
I get all of that, but that's not. I get what you're saying, but I'm not even talking about on some Dangerous Minds extra shit. Like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about when the system works as normal within parameters. What happens is, think about it. I brought it up earlier on. I brought up the school to prison. MOT, if you want to come back on later on, you definitely can. I brought up the school to prison pipeline. So nobody debates that the school to prison pipeline starts at a very early age. A very early age. We're talking about kindergarten, first grade. You can see that stuff very early age, how they get handled, right? But when you look at when you see the effect, you can always go back to there. But when we look at the outcome
if you're gonna work in the background, bro, mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead and mute me. I'm sorry.
I got it. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. My thing is, but when you look at something like you see these conferences, and I said it, these conferences are built for women. These black conferences are not built for black men. They're not made for black men to be there. They're made maybe for black men to be of service. But I mean, where I'm at in Raleigh, they call it the Women's Empowerment Conference. It's in the biggest convention center. They literally say the Women's Empowerment Conference. Like all these conferences are meant to, and so you see what the hierarchy of the black community really looks like. And when you see that black men are not there, it ain't because black men just don't black men just decided to not be there. It was rotated that way. And BGS, I see that you're here. I want you to give your thoughts because you did that video on the concubine shit, and I kind of did a video that was like an add-on to it. Talking about basically to sum what I said in the video, I said I focused on the angle of how black men contribute to that, like at an early age, and black men think like hoes. Black men have the same psychology as a fucking hoe.
Of course, they've been taught. If you taught that, like I said, when I talked about my grandsons, right? And the fact that I have 3 grandsons, and all the females refuse to cut their hair, right? Because they want them to be pretty. Now, did they sit down and read to them? No. Did they sit down and go over their alphabet with them? No. Did they sit down and educate them? No. They worried about the hair. They worried about them looking pretty. Same thing with my son.
So how do you know that, BGS? I got a question. How do you know that that's why they did it? Did you allude to that, or did they like outright kind of allude to that?
Yeah, they don't want him to cut. And say, why don't you cut his hair? Don't cut his hair. It's pretty. I want him to look like that. I think he's cute like that. Don't cut his hair.
Okay, get a girl.
And it's all of the females. It's all the females. It wasn't just. Mike is really going at it. It's all the females. Only my mother who's 80 years old had the sense enough to say to cut his hair. I used to to see my oldest grandson, because take 2 or 3 hours to actually because he had really long thick hair, right? So it take hours, a couple hours just to wash and comb through and braid his hair, and he'd be whining the whole time. And this is up until he was damn near 5 years old, and basically they refused to cut his hair like a little boy. Go ahead.
when they finally did, because I was telling him you missed it earlier. But my son was in the same situation. She'd always bring like when I was getting this, my older son, but I still fight with her to this day. I basically, hair always looking like, she had 2 girls before. He was the youngest, a boy, treated him like a fucking baby now. So one day he came over when I got him for the weekend. I just cut his shit.
Oh, she had a fit.
Cut his hair.
Oh, she had a fit.
Oh man. Literally, I did 2 months later.
How many ducks? How many shots you have to duck, man? Behind that.
Oh man, when I did that crap right there, I didn't see my son for like 2 months.
I believe it.
She did. I remember, this is the same woman I told you about that called the police and said that I kidnapped them. This was back when the Amber Alert was new. Because then remember, my son is 19 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just give an example, even to go to show you though, I say like this: what else do you need to do? You got to start. No, but you got to start getting custody of your male son immediately. You just give an example. After all this bullshit, after she was cheating on her ex, on her guy on her person she with, and all this shit, he put her out. She come stay with me. He come stay with me, which I'm good. I'm happy. Ain't no problems. I got a big ass house anyway. I ain't worried about it. No, what? I didn't say that, but you know what I mean. So he comes and stay. Then I tell him, well, this is how women act. I tell him about this is the shit you need to be watched out for because he's messing with some dope head chick. And I told him, you can't trust no bitch for anyway. And I told him, this is all the shit that your mother did to me, this, that, and the other. Now, after your mother done put you out, now this motherfucker get mad at me because I'm talking down on women.
Oh, his mother, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? This bitch just put you out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's his mom. That's his mom.
That's the programming. That's how strong
the programming is.
That's how strong it is, and it's it's denial. It's really the denial is so absolute. And my point even to do this video, because shout out to Sub-Zero. It's not even about Sub-Zero because I've seen what he's talking about in these conferences, and I said, first of all, a lot of these dudes that are really performing like that, they're in the main conferences. Like they're dealing with that all black, not all black people, but all people, the dudes with the money, the top dudes, because obviously if they're there, they're paying the big bucks. They're not there. Like your Myron Goldens. I can show you a lot of black men, not just mixed black men, not necessarily black men to deal with non-black women. They're in the bigger conferences, but they're not in the black because you don't go to the black centric conferences because the black centric conferences
because the women run it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about it look, if you want to network with women, and there's value in that. Because here's the thing. Jason Black did a video called How to Do Business with White Supremacy. And that, he needs to do a video talk about how to do business with the gynocracy. Because,
he's not gonna do that, man.
Well, I know he ain't
he's not gonna do that, man.
Maybe Glendon do it.
Glendon will, but Jason's not. Jason most of Jason's
audience. You'd have to pay Glendon to do it.
Yeah, well, mostly Jason Black's audience is female.
Yeah, it's about. I say, well, you think
which is shocking.
70% female.
Yeah, and
Nicole Michelle's right out of his camp. So,
but don't give me. I'm
not going. And I like Jason Black, but I'm saying is he's not going to do that. I don't blame him.
I can see that. Yeah,
he needs to keep his money.
No, and I wouldn't. But here's my thing though, and I'm gonna just come out right and say it. This is the thing when people, because this is why I got mad respect for Dr. Clark Anderson, because Dr. Clark Anderson know what fucking time it is too. But he's gonna say, but he's gonna say, look, the culture is the problem. Now he ain't never outright said gynocracy is the issue. I guess he'll leave that to somebody else, and I get he old. That's the hill. He, that age him.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna. Plus, he's old school, man. Dr. Claude is about 83, so he's not gonna. He has a different view, a slightly different view than we do. But and plus, he's been in the conscious community. Everybody knows the game, man.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this.
I do know him personally, so.
Okay, well, but at the end of the day, we wouldn't have got to this problem if we wouldn't have got to the culture problem in the first place. And you see the kind of heat he's getting for even saying the culture is the issue. But
he's been saying that. Why did he's been?
Well, I'm talking about like Tone and all of them. They want to add it.
See, but Dr. Claude he's been saying the same thing since the 80s, man. He ain't changed.
Pretty much.
So he left the breadcrumbs, is what my point is.
Oh yeah.
And so eventually you're gonna have to come to this, because my thing is this: y'all talk about all areas of activity. Culture affects all areas of activity.
All area activity is culture.
Yeah, that's like every area of activity is it's output. It's like an outgrowth of culture.
It's an aspect of culture. Yeah,
it's like a branch from the root that is culture.
From the root, yeah.
Yeah. So from what the stalk is of culture. So the thing is, if you see that this is happening in every area of activity, tell me an area of activity the black women don't really dominate.
There is none.
Exactly.
Technology. They're not.
So what do we? So my question is, now here's an argument that was made that I really made. The argument was made that why aren't black men going? This is the same argument, by the way, Information Man, a lot of people make, that why aren't black men going into these communities and doing for black men what black women are doing for black women? And my argument is black women are not helping lower grade black women. They're helping black women in their group.
Yeah. But as far as technology, bro, technology is not in the black community. It's in the white community.
Which is like a lot of your internet marketers are not in the black community.
Not in the black community. So if you work for a technology company, you work for a black-owned technology company?
I haven't worked for a black-owned, no. Not a black-owned one.
In other words,
there are black-owned ones, but I didn't work for
one. If a black-owned company, say a black-owned technology company goes against black women, what's going to happen to them? Just like Shea Moisture.
Who cares? Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. My thing is differently. When I worked in the fields, and dealing with black women. Basically, most of my business was not dealing with them anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, because, I could deal with other black people. That's what I was doing. But oftentimes I wasn't dealing with them because they don't know what we're talking about in the first place. So it's like, speaking in the language of technology, they had no idea what we were talking about. They were clueless.
Yeah,
so it's like,
but it's not technology is not a big part in the black community. I mean, we use it.
So when you say technology, I'm curious, are we talking about like information, like server building, security?
Yeah, all of that. The whole thing. Basically the whole IT kind of gamut, top to bottom.
Okay, so IT.
Yeah, it's IT. Yeah. And that's a very tiny part of the black community.
Yeah, I was in that part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, believe. I
was right there with you, BJ. I was in LA. I was right there.
Yeah. My first computer was a Commodore 64. Okay.
Yeah. I was right there. I was right there with Glendale Hershey. Was it Nestle? Right there.
Oh, Nestle. Okay.
Glendale.
Yeah.
Been up there. So that was how we had a lot of brothers dominating in that particular area.
Oh yeah. Were you part of the Pasadena users group?
No, I don't think so. No, I was not part of
that. But even still, no, I hear what you're saying. But that's not. And here's the thing: I'm not out. Look. I deal with some of the stuff that I do. There is no way of really building it. If you want to do it black, like you're not gonna do it with just black men. It's just not gonna happen. It's because volume is just not going to happen. And this is not about, here's the thing. This is not about submitting to anybody, because here's the thing. If you understand that going in, then you know how to plot it to a certain extent where it's like, okay, I can minimize like the bear traps and stuff like that, because I know what I'm dealing with and I know what the stuff is. But if you're one of these dudes like the dude that owns Shea Moisture, I can tell you right now, he could have solved his problem very easily. If he would have had a black female that was there, that was, because you got to remember, he's Nigerian. So he knows black women, but he don't really know our black women like that. If he would have had a black, but if he would have had a black woman in marketing or something like that would have been getting paid well, they would have told him, no, this ain't gonna work. And you may not think it's a big deal. I don't care what none of these other people around you is not a big deal. I'm telling you, this ain't gonna work. It's how they gonna react. And if they would have, and I'm gonna tell you, when they changed, if he would have did an experiment and saw they would react to that a little bit, he'd be like, oh, she knows what she talking about. Okay. And he could have avoided all of that. But he didn't have none of that. So he didn't know. And then he got blindsided, and then he was trying to do that apology tour. Like I said, had he had somebody on, and that has nothing to do with just because they're women. That has everything to do with anybody that's culture. It's like if I'm doing business in Africa, there's certain things I don't know, because I don't take like the tribalism seriously, because that's not what I was cultured with. That doesn't mean it can't affect my fucking money. So that's
one of the things I've noticed about black women though, they don't, like you said, they talk about us not coming together. Black women, like I said, the only time they come together is when it's to get loud with more drama. When it's something to go after food, that's when they'll come together. When it's something to do anything that requires any work, they ain't doing shit.
Yep.
Plain and simple. That's just really what it is. I mean, they
That's
just
what I seen.
black women. They just looking for the next piece of drama. That's all it is.
Well,
If you notice, that's why they watch them TV shows they watch. The only thing they looking for the
It's
next
like an
content.
addiction.
They
like
do
an
they do
Yep.
the upperly mobile black women network very well.
Oh yeah,
Those are the people that count, and they
Yeah,
network very well. Trust and believe. I know.
I will say this. The black men, if you look at like the 92 equivalent of black men and black women, yes, the black men, that is something. SDP spoke of that. That is true. The suburban dudes, they do not network as well together as the women do. Now I understand kind of why that is, because like I said, that's that, I asked this question. I said, what do we all know about what black girls are told? Get your education and be independent. What are black boys told?
Get a
Can
job.
anybody tell me that?
Get a job.
I was told pretty much similar, but I didn't have to. See, I was told options, but I don't know. But again, I'm from a different era than you guys. You guys are the new breed. I was in the 60s. I was born in the late 60s. So what we were instructed to do and go after and gather was quite a bit different than what you guys are being told now. At least coming from, and plus, again, I had a father. You know what I mean? So that changes the dynamic quite a bit.
It means a little bit.
A lot of us were told to get a good job too.
Get a job,
and so we can buy mommy a Mercedes Benz.
Well, a lot of it, because I was born in the 50s, and I was told to get a job. It's like get a job at 16. Okay.
Yeah, I feel you, because I was working young, man. I started 13?
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, I started. Yep. Well, actually, I started when I was 10. Because I had my paper route at 10.
My point to that is, with they are taught to chart their own path in a kind of situation of leadership. They're told to be the center of gravity. Right. Black men are not taught that. No matter what black men are taught to be of service. I'm not saying in your age group, but it's definitely true for Xers. Xers on forward.
What is LAPD's mantra? To protect,
I'm an Xer.
To protect and serve her.
Her, yeah,
no,
with multiple R's.
That's what we've been taught. That's what you were taught.
I need that obsidian. I need that obsidian echo.
That's true. I ain't gonna lie. That's true. I was taught the same thing. You better be nice to girls, and you should help them out and do all like this. If you notice, I have never seen a black woman tell a black person, a black female at any time, not to hit them little boys. I'm sitting here thinking about this shit. I'm like, I'm going back. I'm racking my brain. I have never seen a black woman at all ever tell a girl not to hit that boy, not to get up all in his face. I've never seen them. If anything, the only thing I've seen them tell the girls is make it where you don't need a nigga for shit. So that's why they treat the men like shit. I've seen them tell that a lot of times.
They don't say it that way, but they always suggest that.
Basically, in late terms.
In fact,
here's the point. And that's what I was taught. I was taught the exact same thing. And what's so funny though is that it doesn't work anyways. You try it. You try to take on this role where you try to be supportive. It don't work. It don't work at all. So it's kind of this thing where you're taught something. You're taught literally how to have failing relationships. So I learned at a very young age, just don't even try that bullshit.
It's funny with black women. I said this is that every black woman that I ever dated, even from the time I was like 16 years old, every black girl wants you to get on her agenda. What can you do to serve her? How can you further her agenda? Whether it's taking her out to eat, what it would take, getting her to have fun, whatever. She always wants you to serve her agenda.
And
that's not a supportive on your endeavors at all.
No, go ahead. So hold on one second. Go ahead, Soul and Black.
Well, okay. Let me ask you guys. You guys are going to school. Okay, say you were dating. You were going to school in BGS. You were in like a urban area, weren't you?
LA, yeah.
Yeah, you were in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, so I was in the military, so I got to bounce around a little bit. So I didn't have to really be stuck in that kind of environment like that too long. I do remember experiencing it, but it wasn't long.
Slave.
I was because I was basically I had a little taste of this, and then I taste of that.
The thing is,
the exception to the rule.
I went to an upper middle class white school, right? And
that's what I did later. That was
from the ages of like 9 years old to when I graduated, right? Mm-hmm. And basically I went to school with the children of movie stars and singers and athletes and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you in LA, dude. Come on, man.
I mean, so you know where Baldwin Hills, Windsor Hills, all that kind of,
Yeah, I know exactly.
Okay, those are the kids that I went to school with.
Yeah, you went with what we call them the rich kids. Those are like the rich kids.
Well, we used to call them hillbillies. We call them hillbillies.
Yeah, well, that too. You can call that too.
We used to call them hillbillies because they live in the hills, right? So we call them hillbillies. But those are the kids that I went to school with, and plus the rich white kids that lived on the beach. So in other words, from my
so
school,
that's what I don't get though, BGS.
Yes,
you were in that environment and you didn't mess with no white girls or no Asian girls.
Okay, baby boomer though.
Basically, white girls. When I got to puberty, white girls didn't turn my crank. So.
Whoa! Do you know any baby boomers?
I wasn't sexually attracted to white girls.
But they not built.
In Cali, how many baby boomer black men actually ever deal with white women? I don't know if I've ever seen it before.
Oh yeah, there's
plenty of them.
There's plenty
of them.
What was Malcolm X?
Okay,
what was Malcolm X?
I guess I do know a couple.
Go to any military town and you're gonna see plenty of black men messing with white women.
Bingo. That's true. That's where I was.
My brother's married to a Filipina. Okay.
See, that's the thing. And being in Frisco, I was in Frisco, so I had Asian.
You guys mix more.
Yeah, we had more up there. So we had
because you have a smaller area too. LA.
I'm swapping. My bad. I'm swapping some of y'all out because I want to give some time in case they want to talk. No, it's just the people popping off, but just to let them know what's going on if they think there's certain people I'm not gonna swap out, but yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, and that's another thing. When you look at actually what anchors black men to the community, it's not this sense of responsibility or culture. It's pretty much sexuality. I will go as far as to say what anchors black people to each other is no different than what anchors gays to each other. And I'm gonna say it just fucking like that. They are united by their LGBT-ness or what the fuck ever that is, their lifestyle. Black people are united by their sexual attraction to each other, and for the most part, you don't see that. Yeah, so this is why when people say there's not a community, this is kind of, I get what you disagree with that, BGS, but this is what a lot of some of these people are expressing when they say that. There is no real glue. And it's just a matter of people waking the fuck up and realizing that, and then it's game over. Like when you say the cages are down, and it's why you say
the defense of the L. You can see it with the Z's, man. Start to see more with the millennials, as the younger millennials with the Z's. It's obvious. I mean, I say half of them are dating out, and that might be too conservative.
Remember,
you might be, because I know my nephews are out. They are out.
Yeah,
they're not messing with no sisters, none.
And this is all over the country. This is not just like,
they don't mess with black women. Period.
They don't mess with black women. Period.
Somebody, I got an aunt. And she actually had the nerve to ask me, because I guess my cousin is dating out. She said, "What can I do?" I said, "You want me to tell you the truth?" She said, "I'm asking you," because she know I don't give a fuck about what none of them think. Because I got some matriarchs in my family, but luckily my mom doesn't like women. So I get that kind of shield from. Plus, I got a lot of dudes in my family too. Like, for example, I got a story that Dread has, where my middle brother, he's 28 now, but he had a ponytail. It wasn't like it was like all the way, like, how you hot female when you just pull the hair back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she would let it grow and grow and grow. And when she was gone, my mom's cousin said, "No, fuck this." And she said, "Come here, boy." And she took his hair and he cut it. And he tried to cut it with scissors, and the shit got all greasy, all his gunk. So he had to, he had to wash his hair. And all this shit that came out of it was fucking amazing. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was like the goddamn Ring type shit. But anyway, she cut it. Yeah, it was nasty. She started now, to be honest with you, she actually didn't flip like Dre did, but she did get mad. But it was just a big argument. But later on, I think she came to accept that and appreciate that. And he's the favorite anyway. So I think like she really appreciated that shit. Because I swear to God, I don't know how he would have turned out if that shit not changed. But the point anyway.
What's up with the hair laziness, man? What's going on, yo?
No, they weren't taught. The thing is, they weren't taught, and that's kind of went over there in my video. A lot of them weren't taught because women naturally, like I said, my ex is a good beautician. Yes, she went to school for it, right?
Okay.
She's been doing hair since she was like 7 years old. Okay, but she didn't pass it down to my daughters.
Okay.
My daughters, they'll have no idea how to do their own hair.
And if you're busy working, why wouldn't you?
And not that? and
No,
see that right there.
working.
See that right there. That's that business gap that we get. We get when you have those who have that kind of knowledge and it's not transferred. See, this is what we're starting to have in the Black populace. We need that passed. See, I got to have stuff passed down. I had my dad show me this, my uncle showed me that, so it's passed down. But it's like a lot of that. There's a lot of gap right now. It's mad gaps right now.
So you're a Generation Xer. You must be a real old Generation Xer.
What's a real old Generation Xer?
Another 60s baby.
Yeah, like
no,
60s baby.
I was born in late 60s, almost 70s.
Yeah, so you're like,
you're my brother's age. My brother's born in 69.
Yeah, usually Xers are so. I mean, that could still be because they're characterized as they came up in like the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah, I graduated in the mid 80s,
70s, early 80s.
Yeah. I graduated from high school mid 80s.
And then because millennials like me came up in the mid 90s, 2000s. Like I came up in the early 2000s. The older millennials would have came up like in like 90, like 94 to like 95 to 2000. It would have been 95 to 2010.
Like 98.
High school. I'm talking about
high school.
Like I graduated high school 2005. Okay. So the older millennials would have came out like 96. 97. Yeah, so that's what characterizes us. And then these Z's, they like, 2000 and like they're like the Z's are like what fucking 2012, 2013.
Yeah, something like that. I think close to that. Yeah.
And when you think about that shit, that makes a difference because my generation saw the transition. We were adults, or when it came to like YouTube, MySpace, the cell phones getting smaller and shit. These Z's, that shit was already in place. All this TikTok, all this whole shit, World Star was established. All the fuck shit was already ready in place. The thought shit, so that's all they know. They don't know shit was actually decent.
Yeah, well, see, that's it. Being a generation, we got to see. We made a lot of this before. We still making a lot of this.
We grew up in the 90s, black television. So yeah, But anyway, going back to what I was saying before,
right?
So anyway, let me. Okay, so trying to say how to say this. So we're gonna switch topics real quick because I'm gonna fucking talk about it. Like, so first of all,
a special twist, huh?
Ron Wills was the one that made the video on the acculturated, prostitution.
Yeah.
And Ron Wills, and he said even on that video, he says he doesn't go in on women, and he rarely does on any of his channels. He's got like 5 platforms. Ron Wills got a lot of subscribers. People forget about this. This ain't me about to throw Ron Wills on the bus or anything, but Ron Wills got like probably like 40, maybe 50 between all his shit.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. Like he has like 5 channels. I'm not gonna, I ain't trying to put him on blast, but he's the one that came up with that. He said that with love. He didn't say that with like, he said it like it was rising, even though it was already there. A culture of prostitution is like business as usual. I don't know why it's rising.
Yeah. But it's been going on forever.
But my thing is, here's my thing when it comes to femininity. Femininity is not like fucking makeup that you think you can just fucking put on to go out and then create an outcome. Dudes can it may get you slightly better dick that you might already get as far as dudes or resources, but dudes or resources are not just looking to give away their fucking money. Well, no matter, like even older black men are definitely not doing it. And people can say what they want to say about Obsidian, but like Glendon Cameron is not a dude that is really on the he's already separated himself from Red Pill. But when you look at stuff that what he's saying, he said he did a video called The New Black Girl, which is talking about a lot of these Z's that are starting to act a little bit different, and they're starting to be able to get the outcomes they want, including getting non-black men. They don't hate black men, they just date who they date. And then he talked about the fact that you have to have more masculinity than the average in order to get a general black woman. Well, how to date a black woman. So he was honest about what the reality situation is. My thing is with the April Mason shit, because I know Soul, you your days, and now it's like, well, I don't know why. What you call this is tripping right now?
Because I did. You know what the thing? I do one video. Okay, one video. Okay, April Mason. I did one video, and she flipped her shit. I did with same thing with. In fact, the video
That's
I
how
did.
You know BGS got nigga juice because these women be getting like hot and bothered. And
like Nicole.
Jason Black had that ability too.
Yeah, you know what? I did one video. I did one video. Actually, a part 2 video, right? A 2-part video. The part where I did in on Tony Maceo and Nicole was like 4 minutes of a 17-minute video, and they flipped their shit.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. Well, to me, from what I've seen back in the day, yeah, they used to flip out. We used to do stuff for this. As long as we telling the truth, man, they're gonna flip. Especially if you got and you pointing it, if that's pointing towards them, they're definitely gonna lose their mind.
That's why I'm glad I got y'all on here. Cause see these dudes like, and most of my audience, they don't know how it was in the old days. They don't know. They don't know. Like they think I was the first one to just flip up a fucking video and just start running my mouth. SWP did that shit. You did that shit. You know, you had Charles Tyler. Like Charles Tyler was the original Passport Bros.
Yeah, Charles took it to the next level for us because that's what we were talking about. We were trying to get established some brothers who were going overseas. Yeah, that's what we were trying to make sure we got. Where guys are going overseas. Charles took it to the next level after I think it was him and Al Grease and that group. They started working because when I talked to Charles about it, rest in peace, Charles. He was like, "So man, we're gonna make sure we show these brothers. You know, we're gonna make sure that they see it. We're gonna record it. We're gonna make sure." And I was like, "That's what I need because I was promoting telling brothers first to go to Dominican Republic. That's what I was telling them at first. Then I was telling them. Then they would say, "No, I got to go to Brazil." Then the brothers were like, "Okay, we're going to Brazil." But I was like, "I can't. We need some stuff to show them though, because these brothers need to see that it's real. They got to know that it's real." That's what we were trying to work out. Charles was very instrumental in that regard.
And a lot of these fights were happening then, like when Algies. I mean, y'all could look at it. I mean, it's a classic. If you look at Frustrated, the second one spoke to a good topic, but it could have been done a lot better. But I get it. I think we have a better apparatus when it comes to money being raised than we did then. But that Frustrated took off, and them women did not like that shit. And it was a lot of them were the same 92s. It was the same 92s, and all 92s are not bad. Like shout out to Cocaine, a lot of them are not bad. They're great people, you know. But you know, you have to separate these classes, and a lot of them were upset because it's like you got to look at it. You got to look at it the same way that white men look at being in a union. You know, they're in a union to protect their ability to basically get resources. This is why it's important to understand the difference between like socialism, capitalism, and how this stuff works together, because unions are not pure capitalism. It's not. But the point is, it's
a subculture as well by itself.
Exactly. But see, people don't understand that because they look at capitalism like a religion. And I'm a capitalist, but I don't see it as a religion. Like Professor Black Truth was talking about how, you know, he was breaking down like the Iranian situation and kind of going back into history, you know, how when Iran nationalized our oil to get the BRICS out, United States out. But see, people don't think about that. They would say, oh, that's a socialist move. No, they were protecting the resources for their own country.
It's a nationalist
so their country can disseminate it.
Yeah. They don't say that British Petroleum is a socialist country.
No, they don't say Alaska is a socialist fucking state, even though they're conservative. But they get paid a check from that oil. You know, you think you're gonna get paid? You think people gonna get a check from the weed that gets produced? No. But anyway, my point is, these things, a lot of these fights have been had a long time ago. You know, and the women were very, they told the truth. They said, this is why Deborah Cooper, this is why we like thugs. This is why, like, they finally came out and said what
Deborah
they
Cooper.
said it
We
more
used
than
to cook
once.
her.
Oh, they've been saying that. It's not.
We used to
they
cook
just
her
started.
for breakfast. She was easy cookers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know, at the end of the day, a lot of these dudes think like when these women spaz out. I remember when Allie Emmett spazzed out because people be like, oh, you promoted her. I said, dude, all these women go left. I'm promoting points. So if they act like
man, can y'all hear me? BGS, I tried to go hard for you, man. I was just like, but the thing is about it.
What happened?
But man, but my thing is the way that when I looked at that community tab and the way that she was going in, I was like, you're not gonna sit over here and literally lie on this man and talk about he did all these videos. Like, come on, man.
I did one video. And I even when I went over there, I told her, I said
the media on your ass, BGS.
I told her I said I even like Nicole. I've been on her show. I've been on her channel. I've never really said anything. Even then I didn't say anything bad about her. You know, I said
you was even a mod on there.
I was in a mod. Yeah. So I'm saying is, you know, Obsidian has made video after video after video criticizing her, but she's never said anything to him. Why me?
Because
because anybody,
you're mellow.
Anybody
Hold on, I need everybody to
problem. That's the reason why she ain't married no more.
Hold on, Judge. It's because BGS got more nigga juice than Obsidian. Go.
But no. Here's what it is. It's like this, BGS. Plain and simple. The reason why she's sitting up here, the security bag holes have taken her thing and they're just using it for temporarily to get niggas in a trick bag. That's really what it is.
Okay.
And the fact is, by you even saying anything, you know, it just goes to show. She sit up here and talk like she one of them type of women that I'm a feminine. No bullshit. You go to show she still got the little bitch in her too. That's just really what it is. You just just glanced over it. No, but listen, you just glanced over it. It ain't like you went in there and slapped her with the shit. You glanced over the shit, and now this bitch gonna take the shit and run with it like you the
So, Judge, the title of the video is "So What's in Your Bag?" I'm like, all I need to know.
Your bag, yeah.
Hold on.
Here's a question. Here's a question. Talking about what's in your bag, shit, bitch. Your hand ain't in my bag. That's what it is. And because I know, no offense, I know she not talking shit with that fat ass neck she got.
But that's not what I'm talking.
I mean, no offense. Maybe that's probably why her dude left her.
It ain't that big a deal, man.
All I was gonna say is this. All I need to know about BGS is he fucking still lives in LA. So we know what the fucking cost of living is in LA. So
LA is ugly right now. BGS. Oh my God! What have they done to my state?
You can buy 2 houses for the price of 1 house here.
You could literally not be dusty in LA and be homeless.
I just said that. I said that. I'm like, you cannot sit over here and be dusty, and then you saying he lives with a female 60 plus. I'm like, what?
I live with a female.
On the community tab saying that you live with a woman. I was like, bro, when I tell you that community tab, bro, I'm like, bro, that feminine ain't shit.
How does a self-professed MGTOW monk live with a female? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. That was so counterintuitive, bro.
Here's the question, though. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
When did it need to make sense?
Oh,
that's the whole thing.
Say it. Now, there was something on here because I said this to BGS many times because he's asked this question many times. Why is it that somebody else says something? No problem. I say something, there's a problem, and I'm gonna repeat it. The same thing I've always told you. Hey man, you hold a lot of weight out here in these YouTube streets. It hurts a little more when it comes from you, right? Now, if I say it, that's just me talking. With me and her probably at the same age. When you say it, first off, it's coming from wisdom, it's coming from research, and it's coming from somebody who's old enough to be her father, and it all that all hits heavy. Yeah, it all hits heavy, man.
All I really said, because it really was about Tony Maceo's video, right? His stream, and and he was saying about this hookup culture is basically a trick hole relationship. You have to pay to play out here in
Yeah, that
these
sounds
streets and
like
hookup
fun.
culture, and that's what he said, right? He said you're not offering marriage and blah blah blah, and basically you going on Nicole Michelle and she's trying to get these chicks married and blah blah blah. And I was listening to this. I said, wait a minute. So he's saying get the bag.
Yeah.
And you got to be a man of means to afford a woman that's going to be feminine. And
Nonsense.
That's not a trick hole relationship. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You're saying that you have to have a certain amount of money to get these women.
Tell me that in the last. Look, I'm not advocating. First of all, it was ironic is when we had the first person to ever bring that up. I remember, and I'm the one that brought it, even though you probably already knew the stats, but I brought it. And Angry Man was on there, and Charles, it was the classic group that was on there. We were talking about what Ro said, and I asked about the post that Ro put, and she broke it down. She not only broke down, like at the time, I think it was 30% of black men make $50,000 a year. And then it was like a lot of these black men live in environments that are like California and New York. So that 50,000 doesn't really go anywhere like that. It's not like it's in the South. So she wasn't even trying to shit on black men. No, look, you don't have to fucking compete because this is what the real numbers look like. And to validate that, BGS Igmore, I'm not BGS, Jason Black used to ask these women every once in a while, and he did it even on the after hours. He would ask, like, what's the wealthiest dude you dealt with? And all these things don't live in Atlanta, so they all don't have access. It never went past like 80,000. It was always like somebody's like a plumber. This is like the wealthiest person they had access to that was a black man. So these women acting like they can get access to millionaires and shit like that. They don't have access to that. Now, maybe from a Atlanta mindset, but Glendon to tell you, like, these chicks ain't got access to these dudes like that.
I know they don't.
Dudes like them.
I know. Well, I dated some of them. I wasn't close to $1 million, but I was pushing pretty good. I was definitely over the 100,000 range. But what I could tell you though, even though being over that in that range, man, their behavior was still the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear.
I hear
from professional guys all the time that email me, talk to me, got to counsel them. They hear the exact same thing.
Same thing.
Yep.
We used to talk to the young cats because it was a battle about, we used to talk about resources. That was brought up, resources all the time. And I said, I'm gonna be honest, dude. The guys who have less resources are in better off shape than the dudes who got more. Because and the truth of the matter is, because I got everything chasing me. Trust me, you know what I'm saying? Because you got resources, you got everything chasing you. So the thing about it is, though, you got when you have everything chasing you, you got everything chasing you. That's exactly what the problem is.
John Intech, I've been to the Philippines. I've been to the Philippines. I was in the Philippines for 5 months. I will say this though: a lot of these guys that are about their business, and y'all know about this, a lot of black men, they're sight unseen. These dudes, they are in behind the scenes, especially if they don't make their money off like fame or athletes and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
They don't have that. They don't lead like that. They're like, I keep bringing Glennon up because it's a lot like that. They're behind the scenes, and they know not to really lead with their money because they know they're gonna be looked at like a mark.
That's the first thing because the guy that taught me how to do commodities back in the mid '90s, right? And he made it back then. He made $1 million a year. He said you never leave with your money. He said if you're rich, you have two. He said he was down in San Diego, right? Outside of San Diego. He had $1 million house, or $2 million house. He said, but my what he called his meeting house room was he had a condo in Orange County. And he said it was a little toilet parked in front of his condo, and that his first 2 months or 3 months, that's where they meet.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. I know exactly. I got one like that too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what he's talking about? Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that's old school. That's the way we were taught.
Got to keep it on DL, bro.
And a lot of black men don't deal with black men like this, and they're all not like, people have this traditional view of what these guys are like, and it's not necessarily what that is. See, the women operate more like a hive where they all gravitate. So this is why they always talk. Shout out to Concrete Rose and them. They're always talking about what's promoted. because that's their center of gravity. Men are not necessarily as affected, especially dudes that kind of go against the grain when it comes. Like, I'm not saying Robert Smith like is like these guys, but you know the archetype. Like they look more normal. And again, it's lacking nigga juice. And I'm not saying all these guys lack nigga juice. That's not what I'm saying. But I love saying that because he was right about that. That's what it is. It's that flamboyant shit. And I have nigga juice. I just call it black magic, and I'm not going to use it. That's how I am. I refuse to use it because that's not who I am. And so this is why a lot of these guys get away from women, black women, because it's like you have to accept the culture, and you can't get around that. And without they're the embodiment of the culture.
That's what my problem was when I was dealing with them. I didn't want to deal with all that. What's up?
Hey, Beach.
Hold on. Go ahead, Solon Black.
Oh,
okay.
Well, okay, Meech, go and then let Solon Black go and then you go.
Oh, okay, all right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I didn't like to deal with the culture with these sisters when I saw the crap that they were dealing with, because a lot of times, man, that's why a lot of these dudes, when they say save yourself, black man, and these dudes who are talking about interracial, I could see how easy it was because I got tired of it. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not dealing with this crap, man. I'm over here and I'm dealing with I can deal with the same girl or the same type of females, supposedly in the same kind of environment, if you will. And if they're white or Asian or where, I'm not saying they're better, but they carried it better.
Yeah, they do.
They carried it better. So it was like, nah.
No, we're all not in interracial relationships.
I'm not saying you're not all but I'm saying
I'm talking about
we talk about the different culture of the women. Unfortunately, it's a vast difference. Unfortunately,
it's very noticeable. If you're pulling paper, big paper, you're gonna see the difference real quick. You know what I'm telling you? I'm not joking, man. You're gonna see. You guys climb up, you get to 100,000 above. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. It's totally different, man. It's like, man, I can't. Why am I messing around with this mess? This is ridiculous.
You don't even have to make that. You don't have to make that.
Somebody told me, "Oh, I got you," and then somebody told me that, like, they say, "Look, you got to have money to travel." I understand that, but that's not real. I'm talking about once dudes get exposed to that, especially when
it depends on how you travel. You don't have to have a lot of money to travel.
That's true. That's exactly right.
No,
because
$3,000. I know a chick, a couple guys when I was down in Central America, they took $4,000 and they were gone like 3 months.
Yeah, that's a lie. That's the way I'm going. I'm going for a minute. I ain't gonna be back for a minute. Yeah. Heck with that.
Go ahead.
So,
yes, sir.
Really. So here's the thing that needs to be understood for any of them listening, and I know they're listening when it's a Friday night, especially when you got BGS on this panel. There's gonna be a lot of them listening. There's a couple of things that need to be understood. There's a couple of things that need to be understood. They're not wasting. Well, there's a couple of things that need to be understood so that they're not wasting their time and their breath. Okay, first off, the cat's out of the bag. We already know you're not going to convince us that everything we've experienced over the past couple of decades and everything people have studied and going back, it was just a mistake and that y'all are right and we're wrong. First off, that's over. So you can quit trying to convince us that we're wrong. The second thing is, you women, black women, y'all have healing to do. So what y'all need to be doing is trying to heal yourselves because like we've been saying, it's all about the culture. What will you do even if somebody does choose you? You're going to take the culture over there with them because you can't fake it till you make it. Y'all don't work. Y'all are not even the best at that, right? So that's the women. That's the second.
They can't change. They can't change. Okay. The thing is, that's why I have to come to the conclusion. It's not that they won't change; they can't change.
They don't know how. They don't know exactly how. What I used to say. They don't know how.
I'm
gonna touch that topic after you.
Right. Okay. So there's the thing, though. A lot of us don't know how to do what we don't know how to do, but we can find out. We know how to find these things out. We can find out, and at least to where you're better. You don't have to be completely healed.
If you've been socialized in a system, if it's like 5 or 6 generations in, you have this attitude. Even the best of women, I'm talking about the best of them, and Soul and Black probably can tell you the same thing. The best, meekest black woman still has it in her.
Yep.
It's
You
tough,
can't
man.
teach
It's
them
hard.
shit. That's the problem.
Well,
They got
now here's the
What's-
thing.
One time,
Hold on,
one time.
hold on, though. Here's the
When
thing.
it comes to gynocracy, it's the same shit.
No.
It ain't no.
Well, here's the
it
thing,
ain't
though.
Teach them
Here's
nothing.
here.
That's the
Okay, here's the
problem.
thing
You
y'all have to
can't teach
consider.
them.
Pardon me.
You,
The
you,
switch
you,
is set to read only.
Hold
Hold
on, hold
on,
on.
let me talk. Hold on.
one
Let's
time,
let me.
it's like somebody.
Mitch.
It's like somebody who's been an alcoholic most of their life. You're always an
Mhm.
alcoholic, right? You're always working on it,
like somebody's
but they
got
need to be working on it. It's not that they're gonna be they're ever gonna get to the point as if they were never in this culture, but that you know the difference between somebody who's working on it and somebody that's not. That
Mhm.
at least some people might be willing to work with it.
But
And
is
that's
that
just
work? But you
That don't
okay?
work either. I'm telling you
Here's
that.
the funny
That-
thing
Not
about
anymore.
that.
It used to work, but it's not gonna
Nah.
work
Yeah, and
Nah.
you said the problem is
because
too
the
much.
fence is down. The fence is down to have to compete,
Yep.
and that's
Well,
not gonna work.
and it's too
well,
much cultural. There's too much cultural reinforcement for them for folks to do
Let
with
me
their
get
own.
in after Nietzsche.
So go ahead.
okay. So y'all think it's just overformed then?
Yeah, basically, yes.
Yes.
If I tell
Yeah,
the truth,
no, okay. And
Hey,
I got
I,
to
hey,
answer your
look,
question.
I'm
I
not
would
gonna argue against you. I can't
I would
argue against that.
so me. I will
Straight
direct
up,
you
yes.
on my community tab a video that Glendon Cameron made talk about the new black girl. What's gonna happen is the best that you can hope for is a new generation of women like Disease are gonna come up, and because these dudes are acting like they're acting out the gate, they're just it's gonna be earlier for them to switch. So maybe more of them are gonna switch because it's just gonna hit them in the face.
have you talked to Disease and when they talk about black girls? Have you talked to them?
They don't
Oh
even
man,
mess
you
with
can,
them.
They don't even deal with
yeah,
them.
They don't deal with them.
they're not even thinking about it like that. Yeah, they're not.
They don't
Because
even deal with them.
that's what is what's that comedian who does the show, the talk show in the morning? I did a video regarding him. I forgot his name. The one with the glasses,
Ricky
Ricky
Smiley.
Smiley. Ricky Smiley.
Son,
Yeah.
Ricky Smiley.
Yeah, his son was straight up law, man. I ain't trying to hear that, yo. He wasn't trying to hear that.
He said they're like my sister.
Yeah.
Program.
No, listen to this, man. I'm sitting here watching a girl drool over my son, right? I tell him afterwards. I'm like, hey, son, you know, Richard, he's like, fuck, I don't date black girls. My girlfriend is watching him. My girlfriend's watching him. And my girlfriend's watching him. I'm watching him. And I'm just watching the girl. She's just licking her lips, just looking at. I'm like, God damn, man, what the fuck? And I'm like, she's like, yeah, man. She's like, my son, like, shit. And I don't date black girls.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't.
I got
And they
I got
didn't
two more words for y'all.
Oh, go ahead, Mitch.
I got two more words for y'all, and I
Go
hope
for it.
they're listening. We
I'm
tried.
next.
We did. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
Someone
That's
put his time in. He tried. They all tried, and this is like the third time around. It's not like we didn't try. We
Nah,
tried.
that's true.
Solar Black and it was like the second time.
Man, I ain't trying no more, man. I'm done with that. That's
Blog
over.
Talk Radio was like the first time around.
Oh
People
yeah,
forget.
in the '90s. No, in the '90s, no. But in the '90s, it was more face to face.
That was free for that.
Where we actually meet up, where especially in the conscious community, where you have these Ron can tell you, we have these panels and we have these meetings and stuff like that, where the conference and we all come and black men be on one side, black women be on the other. That's where it really started. But
and then they walk out and they talk about, I ain't doing that bullshit. Go, you get your education and get you.
Yeah, that's what they would say. They would still say that. Lex is trying to get in, I think.
Yeah.
Huh?
Were you trying to get in, Lex?
Yeah. Oh, I
Very
know.
good.
I was gonna say a couple words. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. But it was what I was saying about the whole thing about competing for those dudes, and just like the video the panel that I'm on that I see in BGS, I was trying to tell Tony, I was like, those dudes will be competed for. And remember, Edward, when I brought it up to you, when he was saying, well, what are they competing for? And I'm like, the fact that you had to ask that kind of shows me where you at and what you don't see what's coming in the near future. I'm like, this was his theory, though, that kind of, I had my eyebrows up. He was like, well, women are deceptive by nature. So those women will, I guess they will cultivate to what that dude likes. Like, let's say he's like an engineer and he likes things that's like nerd things. He said those women, who, like, if they're trying to compete, they'll try to learn just enough, I guess, on some Cliff Note type shit.
Okay.
And we'll try to go ahead and get. And I'm like, no, I was like, here, for one, this is the flaw in your argument. One, if you're gonna say those dudes are not culturally aligned, well, 9 times out of 10, those women are not going to be culturally aligned with those dudes or culture compatible. So it don't matter how much they're trying to mimic to see what those dudes like. Their true color is going to show much more quicker than what you know is. And the fact, and then
They always do. They always do.
and then the fact that he told a story where he said that one dude, I guess he was a high value man, where he was dealing with a hood rat, but he said he come to find out that she was staying at a hotel. My thing is that just defeats your argument. He dealt with her afterwards. She stayed at a hotel. That's what. But see, the thing is, what I was trying to tell him is that she didn't keep that facade up for long. She was staying at a hotel, right?
Put up that facade with a dude that's like a Mike V or some shit like that.
That's what I was saying. I was like, you can't keep them, but he swear up and down that they can. I was like, no,
they can't.
Because that's not what they are.
He knew she was a hoe from the beginning. He just likes it.
Exactly.
You just wanted to tap that. That's it.
He chose to deal with it. He chose to deal with it.
Hold on. Exactly. And
I've been there.
Oh, you in the tap zone? I'm in the tap zone.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, just don't bring him home.
Right, exactly.
I'm in the tap zone.
Yeah, I've been there. Oh,
we all been guilty of that.
I'm no saint.
We all been guilty of that. Here's the question: how many men? Come on now, the only man that ain't sit up here and talk about, man. I ain't even gonna lie and say that. Think about it, the shit that I done told you about my baby mama. But I never said that at the beginning. But I saw it was no offense, Negro. It was warning signs in the beginning. My dumb ass is just too caught up in the pussy.
Yeah,
but
that's just what it was.
The thing,
I'm telling me, like I say, you see, I don't mind saying my mistake.
It's probably a side chick. But go ahead.
It was good to you, huh? It was good to you.
It probably was number 2 anyway.
This is the difference between black women and non-black women. And black women actually, they have a playbook. They run hard every time, but it is a small playbook. They don't have, because the thing is, they don't have to hide. Other women have to hide. White women got to be coy about shit because you can only do so much to your men without it getting straight up. Same thing with Latin women. Black women don't have to. Their skills were never cultivated because they never had to use them. So that pretend shit, that white women are good at that shit. So you gotta. Why I say don't go red pill for black women, only to remain blue pill for non-black women. Because non-black, and this is not a compliment for non-black women, but non-black women have more deceptive. They have more like for real deceptive, more long-term shit.
Exactly.
Black women don't have that.
The only difference is black women know that they know the cheat code for black men because they know we're raised by this in the same environment, right? So they know what your mama told you to do, so they can always pull on that. They pull on that subconscious tethers that you have. All black men have subconscious tethers.
Yeah, they can pull on that. They can pull on that.
Yeah, that's why it works. But the thing is that. But the thing is, the difference, and Dr. Johnson has said, the difference is that a white woman and a Latino and Asian woman will try to find out what you're interested in. Black women don't care.
Yeah, because they can always pull that pimp juice. Because a lot of black men operate like hoes. I'm sorry, they do. Even a lot of these dudes that want to act like they conscious. I remember Dr. Umar Johnson. You look dumb.
Oh yeah.
You fucking with strippers though.
Hotepping for pussy. Yeah, there's a lot of
for pussy.
Yeah,
you know what
Hotepping strippers.
I was with everything he was saying until I was agreeing with the vast majority of what he was saying up until I heard him say it is not her responsibility to make sure that her son.
Hey, Judge, give me a second. I'm gonna talk you down for a second. All right.
What are you talking about?
I know
what you talking about. Did you just sit up here and say it is not her responsibility?
Oh yeah.
You just say it ain't her responsibility to find some leadership for her.
Stepping like a motherfucker, ain't
it? See, unlike you, Meech, I've been in the conscious community for like 30 years. I know how it rolls.
Yeah, they simping like big time.
Y'all just hearing it in public. I've been hearing that.
Man,
I just jump on Marlon and say, man, stop hotepping for pussy.
A dude got mad at me one day.
Hey, BGS.
Hold on one second. Dude got mad at me one time because we were talking about the church versus the hotel community. And I said, look, man, I got my issues with the church, but I said the hotel community will never take on what I call a mantle responsibility. And he was like, why not? Because it's crazy and nutty as the church is, you all are more fucking matriarchal or gynocratic than they are. At least these motherfuckers are running shit on the surface. So I mean, like, at least I can go to a pastor and the pastor and that's the first time I was called a buttermilk nigga. Right?
Wow.
I said it just like that too. At least they can get these females to cop off some money and it goes through a dude. I'm real. Now I said also they got more infrastructure, but I was saying y'all got a gynocratic problem. And I didn't say it that way. I said that, the women run your shit. And and I said also, you can tell because what do y'all worship? A naked black woman. Man, fuck you, nigga. You buttermilk. Anyway, so we got another guest on here.
So,
my bad. I know Judge is gonna be like, you dropped me off of this. No, yeah, I did.
That's my girl.
You sidestepped my girl.
Oh yeah, that's my girl, boy. Yeah.
Edward,
is that Concrete Rose?
No, that's Danielle.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
she shut down the last 30 minutes of Obsidian's hangout, and they were tongue tied. They didn't know what to do with her. I laughed the whole time. I said, get her, get him, get him, girl, get him. I was cracking. I gotta clip this.
Throwing shade on the low. Once I heard exactly what she was saying, I said, oh, she thought this is like one of those things. You know how they have in 1984 the concept of double think. What she was saying is absolutely true, but it was throwing some shade. Oh, well, you gonna have to stand up to you women. Stop being afraid of you women. And I'm like, that shit's true, but that shit's some bullshit.
No, it's true.
She said you want to check a black woman, you know what you do?
Exactly.
You cheat on her.
Say, hold them jokers accountable.
No, you want to check her. You leave her.
You leave her. That's what I do.
You leave her.
I can tell you straight up, cheating on a black woman is not going to check her. Okay?
Nope. She'll come back.
She'll come back. She won't leave.
Like that.
Yeah, she ain't going to leave.
Y'all gonna make me pull up them old videos of Alexis
If I catch
Tyler.
you cheating, I'm gonna leave you that day.
Because she if you cheat on her,
how come you're not gone?
Oh God, y'all gonna make my pick me status go all the way up. Oh my God.
they called you a pick-me.
Oh yeah,
they calling me all kind of Demi.
So I'm gonna
she picked me number 3.
The origin.
Was Kendra Concrete Rose, her, and then I think Cocaine Kells is number 4.
Tell Kendra I'm coming for her damn title. Goddamn it.
Yeah, motherfucker, you done kicked me in the backseat for her. Come on, that's the fucking problem. You fucking one blowjob away from blue pill.
You look like you're at somebody's house.
You got to work.
And side said,
no. Hey, wait. Just to let you guys know, and if you ever notice, when you talked to me at first, I was at my house. Then you see me at another house a couple minutes later.
What you doing?
Somebody might own somebody might own this house that maybe I'm getting the money for under another alias. But keep that on the down low for the child support people, because motherfuckers, I'm broke as fuck. Yeah, I can't afford nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm broke.
So you follow my financial defense formula.
I tell everybody, if you ever notice, some people, this is to go to show you how motherfuckers don't pay attention. Motherfuckers say, well, wait a minute. How does nigga owe $300 and something thousand in child support? But he talk about he don't make no money.
Yeah.
That's your
but then every time I look up, it's a different bitch trying to get with his ass.
That is the freeway Rick Ross of
that's called hide your money.
Hide your money. That's what he is. He hid his money. He hid his money.
Edward Anderson. So you have a financially transmitted disease.
No, this is what I tell everybody to do too. I tell people this is to do. You can never, like, if you do hide your money, you can never, basically, however much money you pay yourself, You got to make sure that you only spend under that. You never show, like, literally, I got about 5-6 more years. Once this other child support case is gone, y'all gonna see a difference, right?
All right. Well,
hey, man.
But remember, like you understand, tell everybody, that's how you do it.
Give yourself alone.
Well, no, see, remember I told you, I got friends in real estate. There's a friend of mine, he got 6 houses. He taught me this shit.
Yep, that's what I
did.
did.
He had a pool room in one of the houses. This is where he always took the bras.
Yep.
But then the motherfucker got 2 houses out here in the suburbs. Got 5 houses down here.
Oh yeah.
That's the
80s playlist. That is the 80s playlist, man. They used to do that all the time. They'd have they own check cashing houses and stuff like that. Like
remember I told you this guy, one of the dudes in the real estate, he ain't never had sex with a woman before, and a nigga he was fucking with set him up so his sister could get pregnant, and she taking all, because this man got millions of hitting stuff, and this bitch, you got a baby by a bitch you ain't never fucked. And every 6 months, this bitch down here taking you to child support court, going through your finances.
Well, see,
every 6 months.
He didn't learn from my school. He didn't learn from my school.
You want to know what happens when niggas?
Wait a minute. He didn't flush the condom down the toilet. He ain't never had sex with the woman.
No, well,
he never had sex with the woman.
Never had. He's gay.
Oh my God.
He's gay.
So how she going to child support? How? What? What?
Hold on. George left. I wanted to see. She said, I have my 2 minutes of fame. Anyway, we'll wait for you to come back.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold up. I need to understand this in clarity. So the dude is gay. She's taking him to child support?
You want to have a baby?
The dude is gay. He fucked her brother. Who is gay. He fucked her brother. The brother gave a condom to the sister.
Okay. That's what I was trying to
What type of sick ass shit?
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
And he said, like, just give an example. He tells everybody, I have never sucked my dick in a female in his life.
Wow.
He's been gay, but the man worth millions.
Yo, that's a fucking Olympic gold medal fucking bullshit.
But I'm just saying, the man is worth millions.
Academy Award shit.
So her brother set him up.
Yeah.
Ain't this some shit?
Yeah.
The dynamic is real. Hey yo, you didn't tell me, Pharaoh, that
Damn.
I'm seeing this video with Nicole, Mr. Maceo, and C Boogie, man. I thought we had the truth. And so she basically got the,
bro, she pretty much, man, bro, she's sitting over going in on BGS, SYSBM. I'm sitting over here. I'm like, bro, I said literally, SYSBM got everybody shook, man. Y'all do what
They messing with the money.
Let me tell y'all a quick story. So
yeah, as long as you're talking about taking that money from
what is C Boogie doing over there?
Well, he got to be in there talking about these niggas ain't shit.
Talking about these niggas, talking about somebody was talking about his summit that's supposed to be coming up. I didn't even know he had one.
I promoted his summit.
Boogie out here.
I put his summit up. I put Rhyme Wills did a promo for the summit. I actually put Rhyme Wills' promo of the summit on my community tab. What the fuck are you talking about?
What's going on in the stream lab? So Gab was talking to Deity. That'd be a fun fuckery. Listen to that.
Oh gosh.
You see, what you gotta understand is these niggas are chemically castrated. So every time they fucking watch me, I got a chart by how quick these niggas go gay. So you get 10 points.
What? I did one video. One.
Well, she said over here.
You need to get Deity Soul and Black. See, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I said, don't throw Hebrew Israelites under the bus like that, man. You know.
Yo.
I mean,
hey, man.
She did one video, man. I'm sitting over here. Kendra was even in there. Kendra was even in the chat saying, "Wait a second, you taking it way too far. You sitting over talking about if somebody brings up get the bag in your name, you're gonna go and go tell Google and tell the Manosphere and all that. I'm like, get the hell up out of here, man.
What?
No, but no. Here's the question though. But that just goes to show that she is just like all the other bitches she talk about. Plain and simple. You like I said, as soon as this is the problem. As soon as you blow any wind that direction, nuclear holocaust. I'm about to go, and I heard that part. I'm gonna go tell Google and all this. I'm like, damn, Nicole, I thought you was pretty cool. You nothing but a drag in disguise.
Just like even though weed legal, black men can still get arrested for smoking it. And it's legal. You have no right to free speech either. That didn't include you.
Drag in disguise. That's all it is. I mean, plain and simple. She just showing the drags how to put on the rope. It's just what it is. When you sit up here and gotta fucking sit up here and destroy every fucking thing, that's the problem. That's a perfect example of why black men do not date black women.
Well,
yeah, I don't like that destructive stuff, man. That's that bull crap, yo.
Yeah, I don't know why she just don't have a conversation with you. Like, if it's really
right,
first of all, here's the thing to understand.
Because anybody
you want to deal with
because everybody knows it really wasn't even pointed at Nicole. It was pointed at Tony Maceo because he talked about the Spitco relationship.
Well, BG, she really had an issue before, because remember when we did the notion on the after when we had that is marriage is what is the benefits for marriage, the Antoine Fuqua and the Layla Rashawn. Remember we did that after she had that show with Tony Maceo last year. The thing is, anybody that disagrees with the notion of marriage in today's time, she has an issue with.
Okay,
that's the thing, and that's what I came to find out. Matter of fact, I ended up getting blocked because of that, because I ended up disagreeing with her. Matter of fact, majority of people got blocked.
Divorce court was made by white boys. My thing about that is, Nicole has every right to say what she want to say. If people want to, people are going to have their opinions on it. If people want to have, if people want to follow it, then they can follow it. Like Roa Lloyd Cutno has been saying stuff for years, and she's been out here and she had even other black women come after her. And Nicole has Ro has very strong opinions of April Mason. She has, and Ro goes hardcore. Like Ro will say some shit that black women just can't tolerate. Like black women be like, you cannot exist. I've seen it. I've seen them. They come after her shit like motherfuckers be coming after Jap. Like they be trying to shut her shit down. Like I ain't just talking about because she's very hardcore with she's very brute force about the speed at which women need to change. And she's talking about you can date out as far as interculturally, but she don't even promote that like that. But she said, look, y'all got to be ready. And I don't agree with everything Rose says, because I think it's just a bridge too far, for what you need. But yeah, it's not new. I mean, the thing that's saying is not new. And my point, here's the thing. When I first heard, I said, okay, Nicole, what are you doing? It was when she brought the woman up that was a sugar baby. That's when I would assume, okay, what you talking about is this shit. Femininity. All that shit started when you brought up a legit sugar baby. And this chick is talking about he's fleecing these dudes for money, ain't giving shit. And I'm like, so what's the fucking purpose of teaching these women is that the purpose? Like, what's the goal of that video? To say, oh, well, this is the type of shit you can do if you learn femininity. I'm like, well, there ain't no shit between a bitch getting a fat ass and turning into a thought.
Well, see, here's the thing, man. Is that like the determination we came to? I guess this was about 3-4 months back. We came. Yeah,
you can hop on here, Gab, if you want to.
It's all about their bag. Their bag is their nest.
What the fuck is all about?
The bag
is your wallet. Your finance.
Listen to me. The bag is whatever permits them to live a lifestyle with whatever it is they want to do. Living a lifestyle. Feminism is their bag.
Nobody never played a video. The bag.
It's the bag is whatever deems that, whatever lets them do whatever they want to do. I didn't say need to do. I said want to do at any given time.
With your finances.
So they've been mishandling it though is the issue, right? So
this is what they're doing. Let me say something on that. The bag is not that. The bag, when they say
The bag is
secure the
that.
bag, no. If you listen to, I watched a couple of her videos. I stopped watching this shit because I felt her leaning that way. But basically, her bag is just showing you, when they say secure the bag, is just telling you how to act so you can get a nigga tricked into thinking you a certain type of way before you flip the script and fuck the shit out of his ass. That's all
Okay,
it is.
now hold
Just call
on.
a fucking
Now let
spade,
me
man. Go
respond.
somewhere with that bullshit.
Let me respond to that real fast. If that's the case,
And let me get in there.
If that's the case, then why do they limit the bag to certain dudes? Because they can just screw over any dude. It's all
Well, the
about
fact is this.
what it's
But
all
this is the
about.
fact
Wait, let
is-
me
no, no,
finish.
let-
Let me finish.
Yes, sir.
It's all about what permits them to do whatever the hell they want to do when they want to do it. Your wallet is part of it. Feminism
Yes,
is
sir.
part of it. You not being anti-SYSBM, anti-SYSBM, that's their bag too.
You know who I think. You know who I think
That's part of
of.
their bag.
You know who I think of when I think of get the bag. I think of Robin Williams.
Yep.
Is that the chick? Robin
part of it.
Givens. Robin
Robin
Givens.
Gibbons.
Oh,
Robin
yeah.
Gibbons.
Yeah, with and
He
Mike Tyson.
hit me and he
Yeah.
knew what it hit.
Yeah.
Well, there you
But
go there
see-
too. There you go there too, right?
it-
Instantly believing them when it comes to the courts, and you not even really
Nicole
getting the word
Murphy.
in. That's their
But
bag.
see-
too.
That's a video I should do.
Oh,
I should
man,
do.
man,
I should do Get the Bag All Stars.
Hold on. Go ahead,
My
BG.
my ex
I'll be an
man,
asshole.
my baby mama, you know, I'm gonna say with the way it is. The other side of her family, they were all get the bag type women. So I've been hearing this shit. Well, I've been hearing this shit since I was in high school. But
Yeah, this
her-
goes
yeah,
back a bit.
oh yeah,
This
yeah.
does
that
go
goes
back.
back. What I'm saying is, it's just a different terminology. But hell, they were all gold diggers, man. They would
Yep.
tell you you had to have a certain amount of money to mess with me.
Yep. Yeah, that was what was that song? What was it saying? There was a song for that.
Oh yeah, ain't nothing going
You
on
know-
with the rent.
Yeah, that's
No,
it.
no
Hey,
romance without
check
finance.
this out.
Yeah,
Check this
yeah.
out. Let me
You
say
gotta have a
something else.
J.O.B.
Check
if
this
you
out.
want to
Let me say-
be with
Yeah.
me.
What do y'all
Let me-
think?
hold
So
on.
what do y'all
Let me
think
say-
about
Let me say this real quick, Edward. You know what else
Yeah.
is also the bag? That cat, these helicopter cats that are around them all the time that they don't want to sleep with. That's also the bag.
Oh, well, yeah, those are, no, those not the bag. Those are supporters.
Yeah,
Those
that's
aren't
just
the bag.
So
That's not
what
the
do
bag.
y'all think
And-
about? What do y'all think about Lonnie Love?
A tragic. Basically, she said it. It's because she actually specified who she really meant. She wasn't talking about all black men. She was talking about black men of means.
I know BBS loves that.
Had used her and basically mess with any kind of women that they want because they
She's
can.
a
That's what
chub.
she said.
She's a
Yeah.
chub, yo. What you? I mean, come on, man.
BGS was like, BGS just said, you know, I'm about to email. I'm about to email Carib.
I mean, come on, the dude.
Oh
the
man,
dude-
please don't do that, Edward. Please don't do that. Come on,
I mean,
Edward, don't do it.
and basically, if you go,
BGS be like Exhibit B because you know
if you
Exhibit A was K Michelle.
if you go to the select side of what we call the manosphere, okay, the select manosphere, okay, they straight up tell you that these guys are running through women like that. They straight up tell you. And that's been the case. That's been the case since the year 70s.
You know who I think be fronting sometime, and I'm gonna call them out. You know who I think be fronting?
Yeah, with money. If you got money, man, I was running through them like nobody's business. I could go through them like no problem.
And you know
no problem.
All you gotta do is show them the lifestyle. You ain't gotta spend it. I'm just showing them.
No, I just gotta give them a little bit. I ain't even gotta give them a lot.
Because
well,
the thing is that
I stopped it though because I was like, nah, I gotta cut this out.
The thing is, if you know the game, and the thing is, if we used to call it the hook, right? If you got a hook, if you have the hook, basically that's what the money's for. That's what the car's for. That's what the house is for. That's what all that stuff is for. You're not keeping her. You're just getting her in and getting her out. Basically, this is just bait. Okay.
Dave Chappelle.
All of this is just bait, okay?
Right.
So basically, if you got so you walk in, you brag about your $100,000 figure job, your 6-figure job, your card, embossed card, your Benz or whatever you got, whip that you have, right? Your nice condo or whatever it is. So basically, what she's thinking is, I'm gonna fuck this nigga so good that I'm gonna live a lifestyle. And you know that's what she's thinking, right?
That's the best.
And you bang her for a weekend, and maybe you bang her for a week, and then next thing you know, you don't answer a
that
call.
homosexual sex. I think them homosexuals be doing for rumor boy. That's what these females be doing in reverse.
They be doing that super sex. Trust me.
They be trying to secure the bag. So that's how you get secure the bag sex.
That's that super sex, man. I'm telling you, man. That's they try to throw the whammy on you, man. Real talk.
Oh yeah, man. And thinking they got your toes curling, and
they're trying to throw the whammy on you, boy. You like
and then in a month, and then they're crying like Lonnie Love.
or K Michelle, or they do what Keisha Cole did is they make an album.
Yeah,
I should have cheated.
Yeah,
Your old guy. Or they do what Monica did, Shannon Brown.
Well, but a lot of times, this is the thing. A lot of times, the women just instead of them, they don't realize that we different than they are. This is what it is, women. If any of you secure the strag, women out here is listening, you don't understand. When you first come in the game, we already know that what the game is. We know how it is. But as soon as we see you have any tendencies, you lose points on status. You can be girlfriend. You can see men ain't like that. We're not just gonna kick nobody to the curb until your replacement has been already earned their spot.
Well,
so
see,
this is a problem.
Dre,
let me tell you something, yo.
Dre.
Let me tell you something.
That's not the way. Q can tell you that's not the way it works.
Nah, bro.
You got a week, man. She don't have a month.
No, wait. Let me finish.
Because if it's longer than a week, they learn too much about you.
Let me tell you the game. When he's in the club, he's not getting one number. He's getting 10. Okay,
right?
He gets 10. So basically, he's lying on the
funnel.
Sometimes you don't even have to. Sometimes you ain't got to go. You can go with one. See, this is one thing I used to trip out about. I mess with one, I get 5. That's how. Even though I give attention to the one, I still got the other 5. Yeah. I didn't do anything, but they see me. It's something I don't know what the deal with that is.
It's pre-selection. You know what it is called? It's called pre-selection.
They see all these girls. They'll see me with the one girl. Oh, he's treating her well.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was that movie?
Hey, you get more girls when you got a girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
you ain't never lied.
That is crazy. That is the craziest thing, man. I'm like, what in the world? This is opposite. What the hell's going on? It's like, what was that? Bill Bellamy was in.
How to be a player. Yeah.
How to be a player. Remember how you did that with that one girl? He went over there and he smooched her.
Yeah.
And then the other girl, I was like, yep. I was so cracking up over that because I was like, yeah, that's so true, yo.
Unfortunately, it is. As soon as you start being nice, I mean, they see that because I be sitting there. Oh, I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm only gonna talk to one chick. Now, girlfriend really trying to be trying to be with me, doing whatever she can to make sure she try to hold me down and try to make it seem like where I pick her. Remember, I told this girlfriend now, I'm letting you know, you the last one. After this, I'm done with relationship. So this relationship, I'm straight. And she just trying to
there's a homewrecker culture in the black community.
Oh yeah,
like, these women don't give a fuck. I mean, these women men share. A lot of times, especially if you in a job and stuff like that, they'll get you fired, but they man share like a motherfucker.
That's crazy, yo. That's the craziest thing, man. Because it's like, and they talk about exclusivity, but they don't mind sharing anyway. So I'm like,
man, that's
what kind of crap is that?
You'll see that every your friend, all of them have shared a dude at one time. Because I knew this one bitch, I was always trying to get in her draw. She didn't want to give me the draw. Then to come to find out, this bitch, your last kid was by a pregnant nigga. Married by a married nigga. And here's the question. This nigga still married to this day, talking all that bullshit.
That's that compartmentalizing shit, man.
She thought she was a replacement. She was a replacement.
You see what happened. You see what happened. Your ass got the baby, but you didn't get
this out. So I'm on LAR's panel yesterday, right? And he said that when Serena Williams got pregnant, that the dude she married was with another black chick.
He might have been.
They don't respect or care about each other like that, man. That's part of the culture too.
Man,
and we looking
women
at
are
the
cut,
shit,
bro.
and we're like, so wait a minute, I mean, for the standard they hold us to, he's a lame. Her husband is absolutely a lame for the standard they hold us to. So wait a minute, you were sitting over here going behind another sister's quote unquote back with her man, and he a lame. Oh, stop playing.
Well, she got married to him. Serena got married to him because the goddamn condom broke. That's all.
There you go.
That's all. That's the only reason.
It might have been business.
She didn't want to look bad.
It might have just been.
No, the condom broke because she was 5 months pregnant when she got married.
Oh yeah.
No, she got married after she got engaged 5 months after she got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
She had to work on him. You're gonna marry me. I knew what that was. I knew what that was.
It was a setup. It was a setup.
She's an ex-Jehovah's Witness too. No. You're gonna marry me.
Well, after she was around the block a little bit too. Serena was slick about it, but she was around the block.
Oh yeah, Serena was out on some Jason Bourne shit and got caught. That's all. And she 35, and she didn't want. She wanted to do the right. She wanted to have. Yeah, it just happened. You got to make this good. That's like she paid for the wedding and set all that stuff up.
Yeah, she had a Hollywood wedding, right? She LA what we call LA wedding.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, one of the things that always gets promoted, because shout out 2020, every black woman needs a white man. That's basically what the fuck I'm on this whole year.
That's the motto for 2020.
Yeah,
every black woman needs a white man.
That's what everybody mad about. Security bag is a culturated prostitute. See, these niggas get me in trouble, man.
Look,
y'all get me in trouble. See that shit right there?
No, but let's talk about that.
She's turning you into the Google police.
Let's talk about that now.
Yes, sir. We're gonna start sending out if the white is right Valentine's Day gifts to these bros.
Because I don't think a lot of dudes get it. When when I use the term "every black woman needs a white man," I'm dead ass serious, because I'm like, I'm tired of y'all acting like, oh, well, the only reason y'all stay in the community is because of some superpower that black men only know how to work when it comes to you staying in the race. I'm like, no. If you think black men ain't shit, this is the evolution of find your other store. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'll create a service to help you find another store. If you think niggas ain't shit, then you know what? Fine. Niggas ain't shit. Then
cool
go somewhere else. Go
I'm
be
actually
great,
cool with
go
that.
be happy. Go be happy.
Totally cool with that.
Well, now here's the thing with that.
Your ass line of like Lonnie Love still saying niggas ain't shit. Where your white man?
There you go.
She's still crying over the black dude that dissed her. That's all.
No, but this is the fact
try it
that
out and find out the grass ain't greener.
But not even the fact of that. They just mad that the fact is all these bitches, every time these bitches come out and they act like that, the fact is this. You niggas ain't checking for you no more. You done lost it. You done hit the wall. Look, I mean, no offense. I mean, ain't nobody. Lonnie Love is another bitch right there. She's a 5 at best. I done fuck better looking women than her.
5.
I mean, it's just what it is. 5 at best.
That's a 5 with makeup. 5 with makeup.
And I'm trying to be nice.
Okay, you trying to be nice. Right? I'm gonna take that. You trying to be nice, because that ain't no 5 in my eyes.
That's
I'm
a 4 right there, dude. She
that's a 4.
Quite a bit of weight to
trying to be nice. Be nice to them. We don't need to put them that bad.
We did that 2019. We did that 2019.
She's not. At least Lizzo has a cute face. Okay.
What? Oh my gosh, that bitch another 3, man. I done fuck that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I see them both in the, they both in the 3 category or 2 maybe. I ain't messing with that. Man,
you know what?
Like,
I'm gonna tell y'all this.
And think about it. You know that's bad. Look, I like big women. And you know that's bad when I say she an ugly fat bitch.
Oh, so you like?
And I like big women. Oh, I like big women.
I see her.
Look, now that we all agree, now that there's a general consensus that it's too late for them, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna repeat it. It's gonna fucking kill them when they see all these black dudes bring in foreign black women into this.
Fine foreign black women.
Oh man,
they ain't gonna be able to say it was.
They
black.
already are.
They ain't gonna be able to say it's because I was dark.
Q
gonna
can tell you
fuck
they
them
already
up.
are. They've
All
already been
it
doing it.
takes,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Been
God
doing it.
forbid, did you start seeing some Hollywood actors start doing that shit, or
They
you
have
start
been.
seeing some UK,
Michael
like
B.
you
Jordan.
start
They
really
haven't.
seeing that
You
gets
bring some
heavily
Lupitas
promoted,
in
because
here.
then like Idris Elba, because it's gonna be like, what are you really gonna say? Because if you say
Well,
the same
he doesn't
shit,
count
oh,
because
well, it's
he's
Go
UK.
ahead.
He's UK actor, so he doesn't count.
It's
Hey, guess what?
futurism.
It's gonna be Michael Ealy, they favorite. He gonna have something on his arm. That's gonna be
Ooh.
boy. You know, that's gonna
Super
tear. Boy, that's gonna tear their soul,
That's
bro.
hey, he gonna
Oh,
come in there with a Lupita. That's gonna fuck them up. That's gonna fuck them up.
hey man, you made me spit on my cereal.
Or a Naomi Campbell. They gonna be
All right,
like,
Captain
God damn.
Or,
They like,
or
"Shit,
shit,
you know,
not even that. No, it's worse. They go get a Naomi Harris. They get
Now,
somebody
if I'm
that
gonna tell
literally
you,
look like you with
Uh-huh.
some different operating system.
now I
Yeah.
got you guys like this. You don't realize something. Black men, we need to sit up here. We gonna get beat up at first, but we don't realize that the feminist movement was the best thing that could ever happen to us. Because eventually, you don't realize something. Men done changed. The tables done turned. I mean, now we can just every man. It don't even matter who the fuck you are. Now we can come out and say, if y'all motherfuckers ain't fucking in 3 days of meeting me, it's over with.
Ooh.
And it's gonna be so fucking 3 days. You got
I ain't even.
72 hours, bitch.
Was-
If
I
you
ain't even
ain't
trying
Did y'all hear
fucking,
what he just
And
said?
and
Did y'all hear what
here's
he
my
just said?
thing.
He
People,
said
Yo, let me tell you something. They running faster now because I did a video on this too. 0 to 100 to the nappy dugout. First date,
This mother.
2 hours. 2 hours. I kid
God
you not.
damn.
2 hours. I had my neighbor across around the corner. She was cracking up because when I did the video, she knew exactly what I was talking about. She goes, "Damn!" I was like, "Yeah, I know. I just met this chick. I just met this chick." I was like, "Damn, yo, 0 to 100 to the nappy dugout." I'm telling you, man.
And the thing about it is, this is not like motherfuckers that like, oh, you're wishing. Ain't nobody wishing shit. Oh, what's up, the Black Brain Trash? All they saying
already
is
like
what the
that.
fuck it really is. It's like, look,
Mhm.
man, if you're gonna pretend like the world is round and the world is flat and it's not round, I mean, gravity is gonna teach your ass what the fuck it really is. And at the end of the day, you know, I really don't like when I love, you know, when I see sisters go overseas and I'm like, look, man, if you want to go to Europe, go do that. Go be. I mean, they already doing it because, you know, don't get me started on
Yeah, but they're not.
Mocha Fest and shit like that. But the point is,
They're not
this
successful
little
as
thing.
we are.
No,
They
no,
go to
I
specific areas.
I
The weed.
understand that. I know,
Yeah.
I get that. But what I'm saying is this kind of bullshit that like, oh, black women are the virtuous ones. They're loyal to the race. It's black men that
Yeah.
are doing this, doing that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
right.
at some point, that shit's gonna. Because here's the thing about when I look at that channel, that video, and what Lonnie Love said, what she said. I'm looking at, okay, you got Tia on there. She got a white man. You got Tamara, you know, is what it is. You got Jenny Mai. I mean, she got, you know, Jeezy. It's like they're making fun of you. Same thing with
Mhm.
Lizzo. Same thing with Tiffany Haddish. They're making fun of you. Like,
They're dumb.
how
Right.
do you not see that?
They're so dumb. They're so dumb. I'm like, man, y'all dummies, man.
Even Paris
it's
Milan was
stupid.
on some bullshit talking about, yeah, man, they do cheat. This is why I don't date ladies. This is why I date D-boys and then Africans. I'm like, okay.
Well, fortunately, I gotta say, I never
Africans-
cheated.
The
I never
These
cheated.
boys are loyal though,
Africans
right?
cheat more than anybody else. Jesus Christ.
Yo, yeah, well, African boys, they do
They
dip.
oh Lord have
They super
mercy.
dip.
And they're aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, they super
They're
dip.
aggressive. Yeah.
I know we got them up here in Maryland, man. They super dipping.
No, there's a like candy store. Because they're
I'm
aggressive.
not cheating. I'm culturally exploring.
Man, look, here, look. If we're gonna take it easy on them, I'll do this. When y'all bring a dark black woman back here, don't smile too wide.
Man.
Just don't smile too wide, or make it gradual. Like, don't get off the plane, you know, skipping and doing backflips. Saying,
I'm gonna be like,
you just
I'm
got
gonna
the
tell you
papers.
straight, man. I'm telling you straight up, I'm gonna be straight up raw, straight up raw. I can't wait to tell every sister I see. Yeah, she from da da da. She from something.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna be just tearing them up. I'm like, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, anybody ask me, you from the South Side. The South Side of what?
hey,
The
Elwood.
South Side.
Hey, Elwood. Hey, I know you mentioned Mocha Fest. You know your boy going this year. I'm going for the Memorial Day weekend in Jamaica.
Hey,
So,
Obsidian did a video about that. It's a lot of facts.
Dog.
Hey,
What it
man.
is, it's like the Jamaican version of Freaknik as Atlanta.
Okay.
But dog,
Where's this at?
Urban Escapes too. I know.
Urban
Where's this
Escape
at?
too,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait. Go back to there. Where's this at?
Okay, this is at Negro, Jamaica. They host 3 of them a year. The one is in Jamaica. That's on Memorial Day weekend. Then they host one, another one in October. That's in Cancun, Mexico.
Basically, Sodom and
The third,
Gomorrah.
yeah, the third location has been added. It's in Greece now, and it's going to be held in July. I'm not going to Greece.
You going?
That shit,
Are you going?
I'm going to one in Jamaica though.
Nah.
Which one? Which date is that? Listen.
That's Memorial Day weekend.
They do them at the end of cruises and shit.
I'll take
How much it cost?
Cancun and Greece. I'll take Cancun and Greece for 500, please.
Real talk. Like real talk. Hold on. Here's the thing y'all need to know. The main people that power it is, I mean, it's a lot of dudes there, but the main people that power is women. It's like motherfuckers like Safari. Safari got invited after he had
He hosts.
Like
guess who else came? Andre Drummond came in that bitch last year. The center for Detroit Pistons. He came in that bitch last year.
Yeah, so it's like 60-40, like or really 70-30
70-30, yeah.
Because you know, so my point is, this is why when motherfuckers were getting so angry about the passport shit, I just let them say it, because I'm like, y'all got slightly more passports than we do. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? You know, and when you and don't even
I don't know about that.
Well, you know what it is.
Married, I did the numbers.
You know what it really is. What it really boils down. Even though on average, black men at that class make more money, right? But there's less of them. Okay. Yep.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Dr. Johnson just did we just gave me some information about blacks in law school, right? 80% of your black lawyers are female. Okay, 80% of all your graduates, bachelors and above, or 75% are female. Okay, so even though black men make like Q is gonna make more money on average, right? Oh, you're thinking there's just more of them. Okay. There's just more of them.
So BGS, why? Because this comes back to your original title of the video. So this is because niggas ain't shit and black women are just trouncing over them because they're just so much better and there's no equivalent of black girl magic.
The thing is that this goes all the way back to Mohawk Conference 1890. They said that black men did not need to learn how to read, right? So they were going to promote, send all, give all the education to the girls. Well, it's always been a way. The only I actually said in one of in the video, right? The only reason that more than 50% of black boys that you graduate high school is because the Kerner Commission, right? Because you had all those riots. They said, okay, we need to give these men jobs. What they found out that these men were undereducated, so they went on this big campaign for like 10 years to actually make sure that black boys actually graduated high school and actually had a shot at college, right? Okay, that was good from like the 70s to maybe the mid 80s, right? After that, they went back to the same pattern. Dr. Johnson just did a show. I have to repost his stream. He says in the Cal State system, over 70% of your black boys actually drop out the first year.
Of college? Are you talking about?
College. Cal State University. He said,
Cal State.
And basically, this is not the university, because the university is actually a higher level, like the UC systems, actually a higher tier. But we're talking about the state college system. Over 70% of your black boys actually drop out the first year, not the second year, but the first year, because they're unprepared. That shows you how bad. So basically, on the college campus, he said on the college campus now, basically the black girls actually outnumber the boys 4-1. So basically, when they graduate, they're not gonna have a peer.
Well, that's what I learned. I think it was Moist Boyce. He did a thing with I forgot the
yeah, you dropped that shit. although I ain't gonna lie, a lot of these black people.
That's a class. I jumped on. I jumped on Boyce Watkins about 4 years ago by saying something.
I still got that video. Anyway, go ahead.
Moist.
And I like Boyce. I know Boyce. I like Boyce.
I don't.
I do. Yeah,
I like it for the economics. That's all I like it for. Other than that,
well, everybody is talking about he's producing like a snitch factory. He's like, you done had too many mixed bitches come out of there with some Asian. Even Professor Black Troop said that. He was like, I'm not gonna call his name, but I understand it might be by accident. But the way I'm looking at it, like it's impossible that's not on purpose. It's just too many people.
He might have a little simp in him, He might have a little
simp in him. He got simp mad. He got mad
a little bit.
Man, I tore moist up, boy. I was like, man, boy. I'll tell you, boy, moist. He's moist in my department. That's what I'm gonna say.
Moist Watkins.
Moist
Watkins.
Moist Watkins.
And I used to watch. I mean, goddamn though, man.
I used to watch him, but I don't watch him no more.
People just ain't gonna speak out against shit, man. They're just not.
He can't, man. He can't.
That's his base.
Yeah. How much money is? What's the percentage of his money? Like 80.
He was the one.
Probably
about 7. I would say about 7. Yeah, about
I'm
7.
still pissed at him because he was the one that brought that terror called Cynthia G up in this joint. I was like, yo, man, what are you doing?
He ever did, man.
Because she pretended to be pro-black.
She is stupid. Period.
She's about as real pro-black as her hair. Okay,
she is so. I'm like, boys, man, you're supposed to be around intellectuals. What the hell is this?
What the fuck you let that bitch?
Am I the only one think she looks like an ostrich?
No, she looked like a fucking transsexual, man. Back in the day, that's literally what it is. She looked like a tranny all day. Anybody from our generation know that? Remember back in the day, Maury shows all day. How the fuck can you stick your dick in a woman like that?
I can't.
Because every time I look at her, I think tranny. And that is just such a fucking turn off.
She look a little dudage.
That's why the fuck you had to go find a motherfucker who already probably knew. It was like, good, I went and had a baby by then.
If somebody's in a pro-black community, they can't tell you who they studied under, then they're not. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Man.
The first is who'd you study under, and if somebody that you don't know, then they're not valid.
You know what they're gonna tell you, BGS? They're gonna be like, how many females trying to fucking help BGS?
Yeah. Well, I can point you a whole bunch of drug dealers back in the 80s that went through more than that.
You look up to the point.
Real talk. The drug dealers was going through them.
They're going ham in the 80s. In the 90s, they're going ham. Yeah.
They're gonna hit you with logic.
That's what got the drug dealers. All the boys wanted to follow the drug dealers because they were tearing up all them chicks.
Yeah, they were. And not just the 85 Strags. They were up there with
when they vanquished the fabled light skinned man, and they're afraid that motherfucker was gonna come out of the box ever since. You never.
I'm not even gonna lie. Remember, I told you.
Hey, them light skinned men were selling drugs just like everybody else, man.
Everybody else. Christopher Lord of the Rings. They're like, you will never rise again.
Them light skinned niggas out there slaying.
Light skinned dudes ain't gone nowhere, man.
Hey, they sure have not.
They ain't gone nowhere, man.
Them Christopher William looking ass.
Oh yeah, they ain't
that whole colorism thing. I'm glad you brought up Christopher William.
Don't let them chicks lie to you, man.
I'm glad y'all brought up Christopher William, because that whole colorism thing, that's something that women created, even though they don't want to sit up, or at least they upheld, because it wasn't men sitting up here. Think about it. Wesley Snipes, the first thing you heard with this shit is, oh man, you went out of style back with Wesley Snipes. What were they talking about? What women selected? That was a woman thing right there. Going back and forth between light skin and dark skin. One moment, Elder Barge and Heavy D is the shit.
All dark skinned dudes did was bring balance to the force. That's all they did.
There you go.
Light skinned dudes ain't gone nowhere, man.
You said they brought balance to the force.
That's the only thing.
It's balance to the force.
Super Trey's about to move to Germany, be all the way fucked up.
Hey, Q, that child
roast master.
What?
That child support because the white light skinned dudes couldn't go through them anymore like that because it cost too much. They had to slow down.
We said we're gonna have a buttermilk brigade. It's gonna be me.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the
the
buttermilk
buttermilk
brigade.
brigade, nigga, for real. And y'all gonna have biscuit patches on your uniform in this motherfucker?
Yep.
Also, public enemy
I
type
told
shit.
Jessica, man, you cool.
Terminator X.
Look, cocaine. I'm glad cocaine is here.
Terminator X.
Hey, I told Jessica on Jada Black shit, I said, you cool, but leave cocaine alone because she gonna beat your ass. It's only one light skinned chick, only like one light skinned chick at a time. That's
that's right. That's true.
There can only be one.
There can be one. Hey, the rule of two.
I was not making Marco posh spice.
I got to do a video on
I'm just playing.
No, I got to do a video on Meghan Markle though. Dang.
Meghan Markle did. Yo, I'm surprised she pulled that shit off. She said
she couldn't. If she couldn't handle it, basically, there's too much pressure on. She wasn't ready for that.
Y'all think that shit real? Y'all think that?
Yeah. She was bucking from the beginning because the queen started telling her what she had to do, how much pressure was on. She can't take that shit. She wasn't ready.
Yeah, and Suits used to be my shit, man. You know, that was the original. Yeah. You had what was her name? Lawrence Fishburne's wife. Yeah,
Gina Torres.
Yeah, Gina Torres, man.
Gina Torres.
Shit. They had, how they had to give her black, but they gave her a black dude. But she made that black dude work for her because she got her own show now. She got the spinoff with.
I know it's called Pearsons. I love that show.
Yeah,
I love Gina Torres. She plays a very good.
You think you go down to Africa with some half white chick? And a redhead dude and convince these African women to get behind you? Are you fucking kidding me? It's not gonna happen.
They said, "What do you think? African American?"
That's what they married you for. Oh, you're famous. You pass for black, and
they said you at least got to get a Cardi B, bitch. Like, maybe Cardi B, but we can't do that.
Hey, you know what?
They got to give Cardi B. They got to give Cardi B citizenship.
As fucked up as Edward as it is for them to call
Ghana,
you
right?
Nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit was
funny. Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Better not say
they love they talk about ratchets, man. That was looking at Megan the Stallion down there.
I'm gonna be like, you better not say shit no more. Dinus, I don't want to fucking hear it. You gave Cardi B citizenship.
Who gave Cardi B citizenship?
Nigeria.
That's how Nigeria gave Cardi B citizenship.
Oh yeah, you know how ratchets are down there, man, in Lagos, man. That's go look up that Megan Thee Stallion's concert in Nigeria, man. See all them ratchets out in front. Know every word.
They trying to get that Afrobeat money. That's what they trying to get. Because like real talk, and I did BGS. I said it on your platform years ago. I think you was there. I said Kanye West better get them Nigerian oil kids oil money, man. You better that is right there. Hit the nigga.
It is there.
Folks, and then watch some chicks gonna be like, yeah, I'm about this. And you're gonna be like, what's the chick's name that was selling that bleach cream? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna make some money. You know what I'm talking about? She was with the Kardashian dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Black China.
Black China.
She was selling that shit. She like, oh yeah, I'm Rihanna. I got you, girl. I'm about to get that bleach cream money.
So we need to buy them. We need to buy them some bleach cream then, and that'll get them the white men over here.
Right,
there you go, Edward.
It'll be that same nigga that's owns Essence too on the low.
Ain't the white men go around no more though.
They're gonna be like introducing the new billionaire, in the top 15 black men. You'd be like, hey, maybe that Essence shit works out. You go do some investigating, you find out this is selling bleach cream.
Right.
No matter how you get it.
Making a fucking killing at that.
Yeah.
He'd be like, fuck you, black chicks. He sell Essence back to the white man. He'd be like, you know what, fuck it.
And you know where you're gonna get it? You know where you're gonna pick up the damn bleaching cream from? The same goddamn hair stores where they getting their asses beat.
In fact, you know what he gonna do? You know what he gonna do? He gonna sell it to a white woman. He gonna sell Essence to a white woman. He said, fuck y'all. I'm selling it to Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart, Essence Magazine. Like, God damn.
You start seeing Snoop Dogg in that bitch. Like, yo, Martha Stewart's a gangster. I like that white woman. I ain't even gonna lie. I like Martha Stewart a hell of a lot more than Oprah.
Yeah, Oprah. So, God damn. That
I ain't silly boy. Yeah, celebrity death match. Paula Dean, Martha Stewart, and Oprah.
Oprah
Gonna
win that hand down.
Black girl magic.
You told Harper to beat me.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. That's her starting to go Super Saiyan. You know that color. You or like you do right by me.
Okay, y'all losing. But let me get out of here. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Cut me out of here, Edward.
All right.
Hey, Edward.
This is one of the OGs, man. Y'all
tripping, man.
He got the battle scars.
Hey, Edward, that's what they're gonna scream running into the airport with a bomb jacket on.
Oh, we're talking about the suicide vest.
Yes.
All right, man. Peace out, man.
All right, shalom.
And seeing dark skin forever.
Yeah, a lot of y'all don't realize Stolen Black is in he's in Baltimore, so he's in ground zero for the zombie apocalypse, drag apocalypse.
Atlanta. Remember,
Baltimore
started with Atlanta.
Baltimore, Philly.
Yeah, it starts in my city. Yep, Atlanta.
It always starts in Georgia, boy. It's always
we got it bad down here, man.
Wait a minute.
They say Cleveland's the worst city in America for black women.
Yeah, it is Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland. That's Cleveland right here, buddy. Cleveland. No. Listen to this, guys. Did you know they put on the bill that now if you are a Browns fan or Indians fan, that you should be able to get medical marijuana, and that should be a symptom. They should put that on the list. They actually put that. It made on the bill. They were saying that Cleveland Browns fans, yes, they put that on the bill and that they're going to see if it goes through. Basically, that will qualify you to get a prescription for medical marijuana.
So much.
Like, fuck it. Everybody in the stands like, man, like,
I guess
these motherfuckers gonna win, but this is good shit.
Be like, hey, I'm a Browns fan now. I've been a Browns fan since Tim Couch now. That's how I'm a big
look it up. You don't believe me. Look
I'm
it up.
I'm gonna tell them that.
They put that on the list. They try to put that on the list, saying that if you're a Browns fan. Yeah.
Bernie Kosar?
Yeah.
And Clay Matthews' father, Clay Matthews Sr.
An accountant playing quarterback.
Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome.
Oh, yeah, Ozzie Newsome. Yeah. Was it Biner? Was it Eric Biner?
Eric Biner.
Eric Biner.
Eric Biner, the one running back.
Yeah, we have. He used to do the cabbage patch every time he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what up, Super Trez? Super Trez like, I don't got
now, if y'all see me get electrocuted because my dumb ass ain't turned the power off, y'all can call it that.
Trez said, fuck that. That's why SVM.
Yeah, man. What's not piercing, but you know what I'm talking about. Chick was married to Lawrence Fishburne. She got a white man too, so good for her, man. Yeah,
she's wait a minute, she got a divorce. Gina Torres got a divorce from Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep.
What white man?
Oh man, I like her.
She got an older white dude. Yeah, she was.
Oh man, I really like. I'm not gonna lie.
She Afro Latina. You like? Oh, that's what she doing. She's scratching that itch.
Yeah. Oh, does he make more money?
No. Oh hell.
Hey, Gina Torres.
No, he ain't no slouch. He's like a lawyer, so he ain't no slouch.
Yeah, Men in Black. She played in Men in Black. She played on Suits. One thing I say like this on Suits. No, but on Suits, she played. When I picture a strong black woman who I would really want to get in bed with, I would picture her on Suits because even though she was real, she got her point done, but she never acted ghetto. And that's the type of strong black woman I like. I like that kind of like.
And she checked everybody.
Yeah, and that's how she was. I said that. Now that's an attractive, strong black woman.
Look, the black man struggled. He's like, yo, he struggled to love her, but eventually he got through. He made it to the other show, but she had
he did
for a while. She's like, I can't do this. It's like you can't like
right.
she got like came ready for love. You know, it was
Right.
fun. He stood
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, you could do a whole breakdown about that relationship between that brother that she had. Anyway, let me pull. I might pull that up so you can see it. But that was okay. See, Meghan Markle. Wendell Pierce was her father in the show. So that's the first. So I knew Meghan Markle from like years before they had that shit, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, oh wow, Wendell Pierce. I'm like, okay, that was odd because I didn't know her mom was black. I said that's some odd shit. And then white mother, this, and then she was with the younger white dudes. Had that going. But you know what? To be fair, Suits was they had, and especially at the end, they had a lot of black representation. Like the last 2 or 3 seasons, Suits did a really good job as far as showing black men in a good light in a business. Like now, here's the thing: in the last 2 seasons, they had I forget what the dude was. You'd know him if you saw him, but he was
he was the leader.
Married to a black woman, and they even talked about it how like they had the struggle. She always had this thing like, oh, well, you think you better than me. Like the female kept saying that about him, and he wasn't thinking like that. But you saw that struggle dynamic in their relationship. It came, and they didn't make it overblown, but you saw it enough to where it was very real. I was like, damn, bitch, calm the fuck down.
Well, that's what upset me when they took that show off. I'm like, God damn, look at this. We got black positive people, and these motherfuckers ain't watching the damn show. And that's what, because I ain't gonna lie, those are the, this is how you know. The shows I know the theme songs. I can sing them. And to know that, man, another good positive black show where black people ain't acting crazy. Nope, ain't getting enough views.
Well, that's why they ain't watching it.
But I bet you know,
and the
fuckery
was there. They went through their shit, but it was a good show. I mean, it was. Shout out to them.
But it wasn't no fuckery. Like I mean, it's normal. To me, I figure that's normal black people problem. There wasn't no ghetto, I'm destroying your damn house type shit. I ain't trying. You understand what I'm saying? They kept it professional.
That show got so little promotion that I didn't even know it was a black show. I heard of the show.
No, it wasn't a black show. It actually started off with a white kid who had a memory where basically as soon as he read it, he never forgot anything.
It was
and
never.
Basically,
it was never
right.
Like the thing about it is though, it best it had like 40, 50. It was never a black show. The show was centered around 2 folks. It was centered around a guy, a lawyer by the name of Harvey Specter, which pretty much apprenticed under Jessica Pearson, the black woman. And then it had the younger dude by the name of Mike, which he had a photographic.
Patrick Adams.
And then he got caught helping people pass the bar test. So what happened?
He was selling weed too.
Law, and he ended up kind of faking his way. That's like the dynamic of the show. So you had a dude pretending to be a lawyer, but he was good enough to pass it because he kind of knew the law. He had a photographic memory. Then he had to find a lawyer that wanted to do it. Now, Jessica Pearson was technically, and she always was a supporting character. She was head of the firm. But how she got ahead of the firm was the white dude. It was 3 white dudes, and then it became 1. It was called Pierce Harper. And the white dude got caught cheating on his wife. And then he had to go deal with that, so he was gone. And then the first season was really about him trying to recapture the firm from her. And then it's like
he did.
So the show.
Edward, you're wrong. He didn't get caught cheating on his wife. He got caught embezzling. He got caught embezzling first, then cheating.
Okay. Yep. Then and then when they brought the other black dude in, which was Rachel's father, that was Wendell Pierce's character. He was always in the aggregate. He came more and more into the show as the season progressed, and then shit with the firm shifted. So they ended up they really go ahead.
So it was. So I'm trying to get what y'all were saying. So basically, what y'all mean is that it was a show with positive black or more positive black relationships, outlook on black relationships.
Well, and even how black people acted, even black people acting positive in very good jobs, very good supporting roles. It was a very good. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt good as a black person watching that show. It was like, don't you know how like you say, like, we watched Family Matters back in the day, and it was like this was the show. It's like I feel good I feel proud being a black person watching this show. Where I don't see how and niggas can watch Empire and all that bullshit.
I don't.
But but I felt it was positive. I felt black people were looking at good jobs, good relationships. I mean, they had little tiny spats, but no blow up the earth type shit.
Yeah, I'll end this in probably like 30 minutes. But yeah, it was something for everybody too. It was like even for women to want to be on the 92. I mean, because Jessica was literally the definition of a 92 octane. She was, and then when you go in the summer seasons, you go into her past, she had a part of the family that was from the wrong side of the tracks, but her dad worked hard. So she was kind of like a second generation, 92. To where
what you see in Pearson, no, but if you notice on the show Pearson, they went into her family. So she was the first one who actually ever went off and did anything. So like even her family kind of alienated her because she went to law school and got her shit together. So she was even having problems that typical black people would have because you went and actually did something with your life.
Yes, I actually haven't seen. I ain't gotten into Pearson.
I don't watch I watch them all on. It's a episode. It's a website called the Watch Series. Usually after 30 minutes after the show air, you can find any show on there.
Oh no, absolutely. But it's so it was looking back.
What is it called?
Good show.
It's called the Watch Series. If you're looking for the website to find all the shows.
The Watch Series.
And then
Watch Series.
About the fact that Meghan Markle has black in her. She's what like 25, 30, like 25%. 30%. So then when you look at the show, I mean, really, but it wasn't even like white people would be like it's a black show because it was still centered around the white dudes. But the screen time was with everybody, so it was a good show. And honestly, you would say it's put together some good shit. Like I just got done seeing Treadstone, and Treadstone had the African. They had a good like African arc where it was basically about the Bourne series, about the what Treadstone was, and they had these things called cicadas where they could wake people up, and these would be random people, but they had that kind of training that Jason Bourne had. But and they was doing crazy shit, so they play this music like on a cell phone or whatever, and all of a sudden they jump in that mode, kind of like how Jason Bourne and them would jump in. But these are random people, and these people had backstories for like years. So like the black. So yeah, so they had an African chick, which she was like she was a journalist but in the UK, and then she had a whole backstory, and she like it's good. It's only like 13 episodes. It was like a USA special event. So they follow an African chick, an Asian chick, a chick from North Korea. They follow a white dude. He kind of looks like Ethan Hawke, a bigger version of Ethan Hawke. They follow the CIA, so you got to see all of that shit. And it wasn't diverse for the sake of being diverse. It was just an international show. And yeah, the fight scenes were great. The motherfuckers were fighting. They were doing Jason Bourne shit. But you were seeing that shit in real life, seeing someone fight each other. It's good. It's like on some. It was literally a great series with Bourne, and they always made callbacks to like the third Bourne, the Ultimatum one. So it's some good shit out there. I know. I'm trying to see what else is coming out. Oh yeah, have y'all seen that trailer for the new Harley Quinn?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be good. I'm trying to think what movies are coming out. In fact, now I think
I'm actually on that website that he listed just now. I saw that it had a Harley Quinn on there. It was looking like a television season though.
Yeah, that's on the DC network. That's that cartoons show. That's from that white girl from like two and a half, like the pizza guy shit. Amy Kuko. She makes a hell of a lot of money. Have any of y'all seen that Joker movie? The one that made $1 billion? Yeah.
Oh, the one that just came out.
Yeah.
A couple months ago. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you, man.
I thought it was actually good. That shows how men live.
I think they did real damn good with that movie, dude. I really do. They went really good with that movie. It was like when they talking about his laugh. So it was like an ode to the comic book, trying to explain what it is, and it was actually a good premise for his laugh too. Hey, he has a medical condition, but also how dark they went in that movie. See, you know what I liked about that movie? They pulled out darkness without using cinematics. Because usually when they want a movie to be dark, it's like literally dark. They got dark rooms and shit like that. The curtains always closed. He was almost never in a dark setting. He was almost never in the dark setting.
Yeah,
You know what I
Joaquin
mean?
did a good job, and I think
He
you
did
think
a
he's
damn good
the
job.
Oscar?
I'm sorry.
You think he's gonna get the Oscar? He might get the Oscar for it.
He might.
Well,
He might.
To me, the movie show, it's like, I hate to say, it just shows the average man's life. It shows how basically they don't give a shit about you. If you really watch that movie from the Joker, you know, a lot of men can relate to that. Because
They
you
like
see, they don't give a shit about you. There's no if you see, oh, we cut your programs, and you see, what are you talking about? Ain't no safety net for us guys. And any men that didn't pick up on that shit,
white man plays a day as a black man, he gets a fucking Oscar. No.
Right.
Yeah. No
but
bullshit.
it's the truth. It's the truth.
You see they slid in. You see they slid in the white dude with the black girl, black lover. That's just something that we're just gonna see from now on in every damn thing. But when they came back at the end of the fucking movie, and it turns out that shit was all in his fucking head, I was like, holy shit.
I don't know. They alluded to that like Inception, and that was cool. Have y'all seen the trailer for this new movie 1010 with Denzel Washington's son?
Oh, 10. No. Yeah, I seen the trailer for that.
I mean, y'all ain't seen it. Let's see if I can pull that trailer up, man, because that shit's off the hook.
I seen that trailer. That actually like it would be pretty damn good. There, I will tell you though, they did a damn good job of not really giving much of anything away in this fucking first trailer, because you're looking at it as like you're getting bits and pieces that could lead to something, but nothing saying, hey, this is what the movie's about.
No, absolutely. Let me see if I can share this real quick, because I don't get this, because this is really this is then, because they was making a big deal because it was a black dude, and Christopher Nolan. Yeah, Christopher Nolan's working with a black dude. Oh my god. Let's see, share screen, share audio. Yeah, I remember now. Share that damn audio. Let's see if y'all see this. All right, let's go through this real quick. I'm also gonna go through the trailer.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know. You do. You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse.
All I have for you is a word. Tell it. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too.
You have to start looking at the world in a new way.
Wow.
And try to understand it. Feel it.
What happened here? Hasn't happened yet.
That's some crazy shit.
Hey, I gotta be honest with y'all, man. With the advance in technology and everything that we're seeing right now, and then every time, whatever they're showing you, they're always 2 levels ahead, 2, 3 fucking places ahead. When I see previews like that, it makes it, now I take it as though they're saying, hey, this is something that we could reach soon, way sooner than y'all think. And we might even be working on the shit.
Hey, have y'all seen the James Bond trailer?
There's another James Brown?
Nah, this is the original one for the one with the black James Bond.
Oh, James Bond trailer. No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, have y'all seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
This is the one I want to talk about because this is at the black female James Bond. I want to see what y'all think about this.
Oh, the black female. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about any female James Bond, black or otherwise, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
She ain't the James Bond, but she's a 00.
Yeah.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets. You just didn't get to yours yet. The world is arming faster than we can respond.
So now we need a black one.
Where's 007?
Hold on, what are we doing?
I need a favor, brother. You're the only one I trust for this.
Why is it not screaming? Hold on.
The world's moved on, Commander
Give me 1
Bond.
second.
You were 00.
2 years. So stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee.
I may have to redo it because it's acting up.
I thought you
You can see it.
along.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Name? Bond.
So I didn't skip.
James
Nope.
Bond.
So you're not dead.
Hello, Q. I've missed you.
It's the most valuable asset this country has. If you feel yourself losing control, I'm not going to lose.
You fucking bitch.
Control.
Look at that. That's why it's BM.
Everything for her. When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
He said you'll be SYSBM.
What is it?
You don't know what this is.
This
James
is female
Bond.
nature.
License to kill. History of violence.
Only one problem.
I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. Mine will survive long after I'm gone.
History isn't kind to men who play God.
Next level, like an incel. Yeah. When I saw it in context, it wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BGS hopped off. He said, "Yeah, fuck this shit."
But at least it ain't as bad as like Captain Marvel type shit. And I can actually, it looks like I could actually go see that. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, because I
Still
can
took
see
a little
like
bit of a dig though, right? By not
I
having
look,
Idris Elba in there.
yeah, because exactly. But at the same time, it's like how much if you're gonna have an Idris Elba movie, he's not gonna be in there as like a supporting character. They're not gonna pay that kind of money. Like you'd have to have him as like a separate 00. And I like the concept of you doing an off movie with other 00s. You could do that. Now, could you do like one with just her? I don't know. No, you probably couldn't. Because I mean, and I mean, it ain't even just dudes. Women ain't gonna see that shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not. Hell no, they're not.
Well, I mean, it's just they like there's like this consistent push from Hollywood to thrust women into these roles where they just whooping everybody's ass, and it's like I don't see that anywhere, but in Hollywood.
Yeah,
like, I mean, it just so silly. Like you could tell, it's almost like not almost. They're forcing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just look at the Ghostbusters movie.
It's obvious they're forcing it, and I'm gonna tell you. Let me give you an example of like how you can do it right. So when you look at the movie, who I want to see have their own movie after this next one. I would love to see Elizabeth Olsen. The Scarlet Witch have her own movie after she does this one with Doctor Strange. Because here's the thing, when you look at like her arc in all of her appearances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you saw what she and you believe anybody that understands the power. And I'm not like a comic book expert, but I know I watch the cartoons and I watch videos. No, I'm talking about Anybody that understands her power set knows that she had the ability. Like they showed it in the thing. She could have cracked Thanos, but Thanos said, "Fuck it, fuck this bitch, burn everything." I don't know who the fuck this bitch is. Rain, fire. And the point is, they set it up in the right way that as you grow with her, you know, you see her pain. She didn't start off like being all this thing. You kind of invest in her, and it was the same thing with all of the Marvel heroes. Like even with Tony Stark, even with Captain America, you grow with all of them. And if she would have her own movie, I think it would be a lot more successful. Now Scarlett Johansson, you know,
she'll be a better person to have her own movie. 1, 2, she didn't come out like a strong feminist. I hate to say something. They don't realize something. Girlfriend killed Captain Marvel with her act. Plain and simple. They know, Marvel knows to probably write off that because the movie made money, but considering for a Marvel movie, it was horrible. And that's what they were saying is like, really, they even know a lot. There was even talks to them, the people like that own Disney, there was even was talking about just to shelve it.
Well,
because they were saying she fucked it up with how she acted.
What a lot of people don't know about Scarlett is only person got paid more than Scarlett Johansson was Robert Downey Jr. You know, in those appearances. She got like 10 mil a picture. You know, did she
right. But I mean, Scarlett, but nothing for the bad is she's a believable character. She's and this is too. People relate your real life to that. People look at your real life. If you know, even the Robert Downey Jr. for him being a recovering alcoholic, people can relate to that. Where when Girlfriend came out and was talking about, wait a minute, that's like saying this. I'm gonna say, you know what? All men are fucking dogs, but then I make a platform for men. No offense, 70% of my audience is gonna be men, but then I walk in the door dissing y'all. I mean,
right.
I mean, here's the question: even if my shit was good, you wouldn't watch my shit anyway because of the way I talk to you.
No.
Right. If I call, and here's the question: if I say, you know what, man, you the biggest bitch in the fucking world, fuck you, nigga, and then I'd be like, hey, man, look, I got tonight's winning lottery numbers. You probably ain't even gonna listen to me to play.
Right.
It's a respective thing.
They said if they cut her scenes out, it looks watchable. No, actually, now that I think about it, I gotta go watch. Probably chill out. I watched some of the Pierce Brosnan ones. You know, the one with Halle Berry. I like the one with the
one with Halle Berry. Yeah, I didn't like any of it. I'll be honest with you, man. Outside of like since your boy Sean Connery, I didn't like anything between him and Daniel Craig. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. All those.
Oh damn! Yes, those are the only two. Those are the only two James Bonds I know. As far as it came out when I was new with the Connery, not Connery ones, was Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. I like Daniel Craig more. You know, but I got respect for Pierce Brosnan was a female James Bond. He was a woman's James Bond. You know, but Daniel Craig was more like for the younger dudes. I remember Casino Royale was shit. Like,
hey, man, all of his joints was the shit. If you ask me, every Bond he's been in, if you ask me, is the shit, right? Casino Royale, I think it was Casino Royale
is watchable if you do it as a part 2 to Casino Royale. But Quantum of Solace on its own, it's like really. Man. Spectre could have been a lot. Spectre was good, but Spectre could have been like a legend. Spectre could have been a classic. They had the keys. It's just they didn't quite put it together. And a lot.
You didn't like Quantum of Silence? That's the one with where they were out in the damn
Quantum of Silence, right? The desert. Yeah, that's the oil. That one's not like bad. That one is the worst one of all of them. You think so? The Daniel Craig series. That would easily go down as the worst one. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's clearly the worst one of all of Daniel Craig's ones.
I can't necessarily argue against that. I'd have to watch them again, man. I actually like that one a lot, though, but I can't argue against it. It might be the worst of them. But even then, I mean, it's such a high bar set. It's like saying, well, you know.
I'm not saying it's bad, but people prefer that clearly the least. I mean, you know, it's at the end of the day, you know, you got to pay for what you want to see. And I mean, that's why I'm a big proponent of like horror, Black people doing more horror because that's easier to do. Like, and I think there's a lot of stories you can tell because, you know, a lot of these Black men don't get the work that they should get. The Black male directors, a lot of black men, they usually make money when they direct. You got so anyway. I'm gonna let everybody get their kind of final words. I'm gonna end this out because we're at like 3 hours. And shout out to everybody.
Okay.
I mean, we're at 400, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
I'll tell you what, man. I'll say this and then go ahead and bounce. What I would like, a movie I would like to see, just goes with the tone of the talk, the stream tonight in the first place.
y'all go
Is
check
a movie
O'Shea out
of
after I'm done. By the way, shout out to O'Shea. They got some niggas going on. But go ahead.
I'd like to see. Yeah, I ain't checking that. I don't like the nigga times, but I would like to see a movie, and this is just the beginning, where it kind of opens up, where you got this black woman with a white man, and it's very obvious, that they're married or whatever. And let's just say she has to go back. She forgot something, for years. She's going back to her ex-husband to get something from the house, and she came with her white husband to show him off. He answers the door, and
Hey,
he
yo,
seems pleasant. He don't,
quick question, just letting y'all know, like they got a good string panel over there. They got Irene over there. They got the
Lord. Not us. Okay.
they got G Lowry over there. Ramil, fantastic. This is actually not a whole lot of niggas over there. So go ahead,
Okay.
man.
Well, so she gets to the door. She the ex-husband, he's a black guy, answers the door, and he doesn't even seem fazed by her. He actually seems pretty happy for her. And you hear in the background, you hear children, and you hear his wife, and the wife comes to the door, and she's dark skinned, and she has an accent, and she looks at her, and looks at him, looks back at her, and is just distraught. And then they three dark skinned little kids come to the door and everything like that, and she got the look on her face like, oh, I brought the white dude over here to piss him off. It's not gonna work. I'd like to see a movie that's like
Oh my god.
They'll never do
I'd
it.
like to see a movie that's like that.
That sounds good, but they'll never do it.
That sounds good. Absolutely, man. I got some. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I would love to rewrite some of these fucking movies. Like just to keep it real with you. No, I just
this new Ghostbusters
here called Irene, the dark skinned old bitch that shows her big titty. Like these are
oh my
like, and then Irene,
that's the name of the movie.
Damn.
Y'all niggas
it's
crazy, man.
funny over there. No, yeah, man. Peace out. No, I got some shit where I can rewrite some fucking movies, like for real. Like that Ocean's Ocho bullshit, like with all the fucking old white women. I'm like, ain't no bitches trying to see that. I mean, all you had to do was get fucking to rewrite that movie. You start with the villain. I've said it before. You make the chick that play M, Judi Dench. You make her the villain, the main villain of 3 movie series, like Cruella de Vil shit. Kind of like how Al Pacino's character kind of was. Then you do what's her name? She played Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises. Because women,
I can't think of her name right now. Hathaway.
Yeah,
Hathaway.
White women don't like her. Like they like half and half with her. So you be somebody that love to hate, and she know how to play that bitch role. So you do that.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know why that is, but it is. So you run with it, right? People love to hate her. Then you get either Batista or you get a dude to play Thor. I probably get Batista because that's least expensive. You get more comedy out of it, unless do it for cheap. But I get Batista. Those are the 3 villains, and that's what it is for like 2 movies, 3 movies, right? So you deal with Anne Hathaway shit like that first. Then maybe Anne Hathaway's like some heiress that she ain't got nothing to do, so she do some shit like that. Then what you do is when you get the team, I mean, you do Margot Robbie. She did that movie Focus with Will Smith. That worked very well. And then pretty much you can get a whole bunch of any women you want. You get women that are attractive, but they got comedic timing. You throw Rihanna in there, but you make sure they're younger. They're like 25, 30. Oh, by the way, to deal with the older females to not isolate them. What's the woman that was in the second Ocean's, the Ocean's 12? Catherine Zeta-Jones. And what you do is you make Brad Pitt's character kind of like the man, because you make it so like Danny went to jail for something he didn't do, so he's out. That was cameo when he's out, and they got to try to get him out. And these people did it. And then you get Brad Pitt. Rusty's got to step up, but he's like in the background, so he's more leading the new team of women because whatever they got to be women. And then you just get Brad Pitt in there to say, look, we'll give you a piece of the points of what's being done in the producer credit, so you be in there. And then you get a couple other people, you know, you get Don Cheadle's thing here and there with like little quick cameos, whatever you need, but it's rotate around them. So you get females that dudes want to see, and then women can get behind. Most people are cool with Margot Robbie, and then people love what you got a movie. You do the Cruella de Vil shit, not no the women got to be smarter than the boys shit, because that hasn't been done. Nobody's really done the Cruella de Vil arc yet, and people could believe Judi Dench could be that person. Helen Mirren could have played it too, but Judi Dench is probably a little bit better. And you do that, you got 3 movies that will make money. People will love to see it and date. So Hollywood knows how to make these fucking movies. Like they can make movies that are got more women in them, but that dudes will be cool with seeing. All right, this is some shit I can take a chick to see because I can see some good looking, you know, white bitches, and they might be actually funny. Hell, you could throw Jamel Noe in there, and I don't even like her like that. So anyway, yeah, man. So check out the like all y'all get y'all last word real quick, and then they wilding out on this nigga thon. I don't know what the fuck they talk. Usually I don't like to see it, but you actually got dudes that don't go for a nigga on here. So you know, you hearing like, you know, Irene and her white voice, you know, you're a loser, Mr. Fantastic. You know, you're a fucking loser.
Mr. Fantastic.
So
I can hear now. My last words, it's 2020 SYSBN. That's it.
He like it too. All right, what else, y'all? What else y'all got? Yeah, man, blow that shit up. All y'all go over there and blow that shit up. I want y'all to push O'Shea shit to like fucking 1,300 so they can feel fucking special. So y'all see it. So what's y'all last words, man?
Last words is niggas hide your money. These bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Yeah. My last word is black woman is God and you niggas know it. So stop playing.
His fingers was crossed when he said that.
The black woman, that hashtag BWIG, black woman is God. These shit gonna be start doing like white supremacy symbols. Anyway, all right.
Like you guys know, his fingers was crossed when he said that.
Yeah, man, put the hashtag. They wilding out. I appreciate y'all. 400. I know it's been like my best videos were like with BGS. Let me start paying him some money.
All right, man.
Anyway, yeah, peace out. Leave my fucking broadcast and leave that bitch home.